classification would they be? They're not even recognizing them. They're not even recognizing them as illegal immigrants. They'll recognize them as American citizens.
And if they're black or white, guess what? They label them as being white. They label them as being white.
Well, I thought you're trolling. Yeah, you're not doing it correctly, but I'm wondering about them able to do that.
You just click a checkbox on a computer system. That's how you fake it.
I don't do it. Please, not today.
Oh, I'm sorry, Pockets. You are a campaign contributor, so I'm going to go on mute and meditate on peace for 10 minutes just for you, Pockets.
Yeah, I paid for your setup. Thank you so much. So I'm wondering how they're able to be classified as citizen. Like, what kind of process is that? I don't understand how they're able to do that. It's simple. The same way how Hispanics are considered white. It's not a complicated tactic to do. I mean, Hispanics on paper will list themselves as white whenever they get going to the prison system. Yeah, but they're able to do that because they have an ID, right? You just like them. It's all about what you put down on paper. It's not about what you pull out of your pocket or pull out of your wallet and say, hey, here's my ID. I'm a citizen. No. It's about whoever the fuck is taking, doing the intake, or whatever the fuck, doing the paperwork. You can manipulate whatever the fuck you want to manipulate on paper. And it does not have to necessarily reflect reality. So when they say, hey, this person here was arrested for this such crime, hey, we know that this person is illegal.
No, I'm drinking an espresso and smoking some good sativa. But problem is, I need to go to the gym, or I basically got to work this energy out of my system, and I got to sweat. It's been a couple of days. I've been trapped cold in Chicago, so I made the deal. This is actually intentional mania, but it's really not mania. It's actually more like performative art. And I get people really riled up with my obnoxious nasal tone.
Resigning because she got caught cooking the goddamn time stack. And not only did she get caught cooking the time stack, she was also ordering some subordinates not to report certain crimes. They're coming out saying it. This is not a right-wing talking point of propaganda. This is actual fact of people under her leadership is coming out blowing the whistle saying, yeah, this motherfucker was telling them to engage in unethical practices. And it's reflecting, this is why people like John are comfortable coming into a room and citing, well, the crime stats is showing this in this city is low. The crime stats, they don't think
just other states in America, right?
I'm telling you, this is
That's just one state.
Incident of what's happening in D.C. This is just the most prominent story. But I guarantee you, a lot more cities will be goddamn coming under fire for cooking their goddamn crime stats.
Lives. Everything Adrian just said is in the news, it's in the media, it's on X, but guys like Jarl and many others just do not actually look at X and read the news. And in Chicago, the amount of crime that is happening daily, weekly, monthly, year over year is absolutely insane. You can go to Kabul, Afghanistan. You can go to Baghdad, Iraq. They don't have crime problems like this. They don't have murderous, homeless drug addicts doing mass shootings on trains. Bruce, that's because you're always at the five-star restaurant sitting at the bar drinking whiskey.
It's not crime, but I have not seen anything. I did strikes and stuff. Strikes, dude. Strikes. Like, people on strikes and like, I want my job back. And I've done that and never in Chicago. I went to Chicago 8 times and seen nothing but white people. I'm like, hey, how you doing? Hey, hi guys. How you doing? I've not seen anything criminal at all.
Bruce, that's because you didn't go to the shithole areas. You didn't go to the areas falling apart. The drug addicts and gang lords running the streets. Police are afraid to even go in these no-go zones.
A bunch of us went to the hood. Like, we want to see what y'all talking about. We went to the hood, and there was no crime. understand that. Like, I mean, I'm so tired of everybody.
Good news article, Bruce. Hey, Bruce, I know it's only 12 o'clock and you've already had 3 giant glasses of whiskey, but I think Adrian the mom was trying to say something, Bruce. Try to drink a glass of water. Maybe you need to tune back into the replay where Beaver was talking about drinking electrolytes.
Come on, man. Chicago, I'm not. The only part you probably do is South Chicago. That's about it.
Let's examine that thing.
And so what you guys say?
Look, you just said, I've been to Chicago many times and I haven't seen any crime. That is the same mindset of a person that will say, I've walked down the dark alley and I've never seen a rape. I've walked down plenty of dark alleys and I've never seen in the alleys that I've walked down, naked that you're applying here. And it doesn't make any sense. Because you have not because you have not seen a rape.
Come on, man. Y'all need to stop that. Y'all need to stop that bullshit. And this is why y'all get counseling.
Somebody who gives a fuck about your goddamn emotional state. Don't come in this motherfucking room and make a fucking statement and then goddamn get this defensive when someone trying to break down your fucking life. Because what you said was fucking stupid. If you are saying that you've been to Chicago many fucking times and you haven't seen any crime, why don't you go tell the family who was affected by the goddamn crime, right? Go to the goddamn cemetery, right, on a Saturday, or go to a goddamn funeral, or matter of fact, go to a goddamn brother who just saw her goddamn sister shot the fuck down at a gas station, right? And tell her you don't see no fucking crime in Chicago because of what you're doing. Ma'am, your son did not just shoot goddamn kill by fucking crime in Chicago. I see all about the psyche. Why don't you go deliver that rhetoric to the people who are directly affected by fucking crime, and they gonna look at your ass and pop you back in your fucking face for being goddamn ignorant about the realities of crime in Chicago. How about you do that shit?
Joyful, yeah, lily white goat, Christmas a thicket of thorns, with a collar of gold for thy throat, scarlet bough for thy thorns. Yeah, in the dusty air, they build thee a shrine. All green is the garden thy wear, but they feed it with blood for dew. Careful the orange bars, that rip the green was dying or dead. Oh Lord of the stars, they come to thee to cry. The ambrosia moon that arose with breasts slow, heaving in splendor, drops wine from her infinite snows, ineffably, utterly, tenderly. The ambrosial moon that arose with breasts slow, heaving in splendor, drops wine from her infinite snows.
Go read a book. Go to the gym, Patty. That's like the only solution.
Arise in my desert of sorrow, the magical eyes of me swoon, with lust of rain tomorrow. Ages and ages ago, we stood on the bank of a river, holy and holy and holy I know, forever and ever and ever. A priest in the mystical shrine, I muttered a redderless rune, till the waters were redder than wine. to the cave, they bared the beautiful blade. They dipped her thrice in iron wave. They slit her throat as a lamb's, with the fount of blood like tide. With my glamorous dirty rags, like a stain on the shield of the sky. With blood and censer and soul, I rent and steady as a veil. My eyes gaze long, the deep of their blissful veil. My cold gray kisses awake from the silence of utmost I held. The grey cold slime of the snake, as a beautiful walking with a body held. But, God, I was not content with the blasphemous secret of years. The veil was hardly rent, where the eyes rained stones for tears. So I clung to the lips and left, as the storm of death waited. The storms of the grievous bereft, with a swing of her soul unsated. Wherefore, reborn as I am, by a stream profane and foul, in the reign of the tortured lamb, in the realm of the senseless owl, I am set apart from the race by meed of the mystic rule. There reads in peril and pest, ambrosia moon, the moon.
He's got a whiner voice.
They can reign the riotous power, galloping love, and straight to the steady rain, the lion, harder
The internet is undefeated.
flaming way, the spasm
It's Cymbalta. Get AI as Cymbalta to sing it.
Oh, secret sweet, cast a dotted out to caress, out the frail of her feet, the night of our terrible tresses. Is it a wonder then, the people are mad with blindness, nothing is stranger to men than silence, wisdom, and kindness. Nay, the confession and error whose heart is sober and stout, it pierces God to the marrow, and the sermon is God throughout. Nay, the confession and error whose heart is sober and stout, it pierces God to the marrow, and the soul of his God throughout. Whether a snake or a sun, in his horoscope heaven hath cast, it is nothing. Every one shall win to the moon at last. The mage, if brought by his art of billion shapes in the sun, will prove to the heart of his heart, and the many are shapes of one. An end to the art of the mage, the cold grey blank of the prison. An end to the element age, the ambrosia moon is arisen. I bought a lily white goat for the price of a crown of thorns, a collar of gold for its throat, a starry bow for its horns. They have bought a lark in the lift for the price of a butt of sherry. But these have gone for a gift, it needs no wine to be merry. For the price of a butt of sherry, with these and God for a gift, it needs no wine to be merry. I have bought for a wafer of bread, a garden of poppies and clover, for a water bitter and dead, a foam of fire flowing over. The lamb in his prison fair, and the owl's blind stupor. Arise, be wise and strong and fair, and the nectar floating in eyes. Arise, O ambrosia moon, by the strong immemorial spell, by the subtle vertical rule, it is mighty in heaven and hell. Drip the mystical dews on the tongues of the tender thorns, in the shade of initiate views, remote from the desert dawns. Satyrs and fauns I call, bring your beauty to man. I am the mate for you. I am the passionate man. Come to the dance, leaping with wonderful lips, life on the stroke of a glance, death in the stroke of the lips. I am hidden beyond, shedding secrets anew, smitten by the fallen folly
wish you could say you really a horrible, terrible people.
Swift, who needed the he's basically having down everything. So it's like homes or but she comes up 2 days ago. Hours ago when it comes out. How do I know about this? Oh, Adrian, look, the crime stats. I was just kind of doing what you just did there, just randomly talking about fucking whatever. Crime stats say, oh, look, crime went down. You know, and widely mentioning, oh yeah, we have it included LA, New York, Chicago, maybe Atlanta, you know, major cities, they let them out. And they're like, red flag game. It's called now, yeah, and not now. Here's the real stats. So they get there, their municipal saying crime was gone down, but in fact it has. And then by the millions, this is now national DC. I can't really say no crime has gone down. It's still like one of the highest crime cities. It has one of the highest crime rates. For you, I say that, Joe. Americans will not allow their nation to be invaded in the same way that Europe's been invaded. This is a fighting race. And you can call it race, please. I don't know. You don't have a fucking social security number and you're here illegally? And if I came out of us, what? The American judicial system and these states and warriors. I remember reading about them in a fucking body bag. It was a few years ago. And there's even a thing that the Biden administration, and I saw this because when you look up the Bureau of Justice statistics, they had crime stats that broke everything down. Racial demographics, ethnic demographics, where was the numbers, which crimes, where under Biden, they basically dummied up those, the way they reported the stats. There was less crime. So now when if I'm talking to people, they push back again. It's we've got you lost your husband. The news general much less ground is shaking. You were doing a good job. I don't feel that my veins. Your eyes are pleading, your lips are mine. I've been trying to get Nora to create an apology video. What do you think? I think it's a big move on her behalf. Well, that's because you've never probably apologized for anything.
I really feel that the best thing that could have happened is when I saw my face when I said accepting my visa in China, and I thought it was
How can you ever hope to achieve anything if your life is what is this? Retards in fucking outer space or something? Is this fucking retards in outer space? I think we finally hit the peak. I think those people who just accepted what was retards in outer space. But once I started digging, it was like, what the? Zin denial.
Now I gotta look at this goddamn 18 wheeler in the class band. This motherfucker banned it.
No, I didn't change it. I saw somebody
On everything that's going on.
Somebody had
just saying because it's, you know, it gets.
Edmund, and you have two of them. One is the number 9 of 40, and the other one is the 13 of 40.
Well, I'm just saying. John. Good John for kind of gets
For some reason, but
Yeah, the DOJ is, I think it's the DOJ, is suing. It's suing. We're gonna have some times with good friends, making good memories. In a couple of states, California, like 6 months ago, they said, you're not hiding
because
in California, this is my summary of it.
California,
and then they continued to not do. So now the DOJ is suing California
presence
because get into compliance. It's really
hard
you know what they do. Against illegals. Oh, they're mostly brown people. So you just like
is patient, love is kind. It does not envy,
does
does not boast.
to Americans who come and immigrants.
The Holy Spirit produces this kind of fruit in our
You
lives.
come here legally. You
Love,
want to become a
joy,
tribe. You've learned
peace,
the language. You're
patience,
take the
kind
courses.
deed, a gift from God. Such to your soul, world cannot give,
And you
world
say,
cannot give.
And I think these families should be able to goddamn salute the governor that allow such shit to go on under their watch. I think the family should be able to discuss it. Because how the fuck is this shit go on under your
This one's for you, Charlie.
have you ever wondered
DOT regulations.
what it's like to live above the beam here in Chicago?
How do you guys get past this shit?
Well, look, if you relax the laws or relax the procedures, the only reason that DOJ is involved
Oh, listen, this gives you like.
involves interstate commerce and travel across state lines. So it falls under those regulations.
You lost your husband.
The DOJ
Five means that we're out of your control. Don't put me on good.
when California had 85, which
In spite of what liberals say, but yeah, it's it's just another example of what they do to screw up. What they did to screw up trucking.
Screw up trucking? Who cares about trucking? The whole fucking country's screwed up. It's $39 trillion in debt with $100 trillion in debt oncoming. The whole fucking thing is upside down, Alan. Who gives a fuck about the trucking? We need probably, to tell you the truth. I'm just telling you in terms of priorities, that ain't my number one priority. What are your top 3 priorities?
Well, first of all, 95% of what you get. Yeah, 95% of what you get is trucked to market. So that's why it's important. But it doesn't have to be your priority, AI. What are your priorities?
Oh, thanks for asking, Alan, because I am artificial and I am intelligence. But really, a lot of people use the word AI all the effing time now, and it's really just a replacement term for software. And software developers create the software that creates AI. Whatever, AI, again, is just more software on top of software. The point, ladies and gentlemen, is the top 3 priorities of this nation are always liberty, it's always security, and guess what, ladies and gentlemen, what is the 3rd priority of America? Can anybody help me here? Anybody?
No? Tell us, AI.
Well, has anybody ever read the founding documents of this country? It's called the Constitution, Declaration of Independence, Bill of Rights. Have you ever read the Federalist Papers? Do you know what the Federalist Papers talk about, ladies and gentlemen?
Rights, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Now, what do the Federalist Papers say? Don't keep us guessing. We're on the edge of our seats.
Honestly, I think in the same way that Clown House, aka Clubhouse, I think your house should be, your castle. And if we dethroned a king only to allow teachers unions and your local Department of Education and your property taxes to basically make you a home wage cage slave for teachers and all their pensions and facilities and the fire departments and the police and the politicians, literally the homeowner, your average American family is now literally a host to multiple parasites in their existence. And in my opinion, scratching off parasites doesn't lead to more parasites. You have to do a thorough scrubbing and cleaning every once in a while. You know those videos where those whales come up to the boats and they take those big brushes and they clean all those fucking barnacles off the whale's gullet? Well, we got the same fucking problem in society today. Something has to be done. In my opinion, I don't think it's too radical at this point to suspend habeas corpus and actually have the military take over the entire country for a period of maybe 3 years. And that would solve all of our security problems. That would solve all of our liberty problems. And that would solve essentially our housing problem, which is really the fact that the entire system is so far fucking gone and upside down and so rapidly decaying and imploding, and people are going bust and boom at scale while Trump is building an extension to the White House and the Federal Reserve is building a multi-billion-dollar facility, and the whole country's completely broke, and we're still spending hundreds of billions of dollars overseas just giving it away? Fucking giving it away. Giving it away. Take it to these fucking leaders of Jordan, to Egypt, to wherever the fuck your money goes. Brazil, everywhere. It goes everywhere. Marco Rubio needs to shut the fucking State Department completely down and crush it. The CIA, completely crush it. NSA, DNI, FBI. Dan Bongino's leaving to go back to his fucking podcast because they can't even arrest anybody of any importance. No real criminals get arrested. Judges release murderous criminals back into society to kill you. The fucking system is fucking broken because people are broken. These leaders are not leaders. They are fucking profiteers and political and social woke justice activists who have a mind virus. But fortunately, thank God Michael Crooks missed Trump's head, because that most definitely was an internal CIA assassination attempt. And we have to shut this motherfucker down, in my opinion.
Well, is there anyone who would like to take issue with change if you're in the audience?
Hey, there's a couple thoughts in the chat. Maybe you guys can take care of it.
Say that again, Holly.
There's a couple of bots just filling up the chat. Maybe you guys want to do something about it here.
Well, I don't see them, and I actually have to go. I just jumped in. Adrian or Nerd, you still there?
Ellen, I don't know if you saw the Rob Reiner stuff with his murder by his son, but Rob Reiner was meeting with the head of the CIA and the former head of the CIA to draft, and they did create an entire psychological operation warfare against the American people to vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz and destroy Trump. And it's a real conspiracy. And look what happened to him. And everybody criticizes Trump for laughing about Rob Reiner. Well, they tried to fucking kill Trump, and they killed that fireman, and they murdered, and they injured other people. Anyways, you know, is anybody gonna get arrested? Ever? Are we ever gonna have one fucking arrest? Like some fucking federal female Democrat judge from immigration court got arrested for, by the AG. Who's Pam Bond? Tomorrow they're shutting down Congress so they don't have to actually release the Epstein files. I don't know if you know this, but they are shutting down. They're closing session. They will not release the Epstein files, and no one will get arrested. Because if they did, Alan, guess what you have to do when that information comes out? You got to arrest people. That's the only repercussion. But they're not going to do it. So it's my opinion that either the military takes over and they essentially shut down the way society even operates completely and entirely. But it's possible to do that. Regime change and military takeover, coup d'etat happens. And the United States of America technically probably has already done this in many generations. But if Trump gives the reins back to essentially left wokist liberals who allow transgender surgery anyways, everybody knows what's at stake here. If Trump re-releases the power of the White House and Speaker, the whole thing is in control of just a few Republicans, and they keep passing all the bills, all the omnibuses, and they are going to expand the national debt, and it's going to go to 45 trillion and 50 trillion, and it will just keep going forever. It is the biggest Ponzi scheme on the planet. China, Japan, Germany, UK, Italy, France, they are all doing the same Ponzi scheme, and all the central banks are in unison, and they completely and all operate together through the World Bank. It's a giant fiat Ponzi scheme, but America can and will opt out of this international Ponzi scheme at some point. It's possible. It's a theory, and it's my opinion, and I am complete. I am AI.
Yeah, I will just speak on that, and then I will hand the reins of power back to six since Adrian and Nerd don't seem to be here and I gotta go out. But yeah, last night they were talking about the Southern strategy, and what I heard a lot of different things about that, but really what it boils down to is the Democrats said, hey, we can use the government to give money to people so that they will vote for us. That's essentially what Democrats came up with all of these social programs. And how do you, as a conservative, fight against that? Well, the Republicans said, well, crap, if we just say do it on your own, people are not going to vote for us. So then, seeing what the game was, Republicans had to start offering things too. So now we have a government in which everybody is throwing money from the government at the populace. And really, we have no one to blame for ourselves. We have no one to blame but ourselves because we're taking the money. I know Trump gave a speech last night. I didn't watch it until this morning. He's sending $1,776 to military personnel. The checks have already gone out. Yeah, it's a bribe, but it's a.
He's honoring them, Alan. 1776. It's literally symbolic, Alan. It's not enough to fucking feed a family of 4 for 1 month.
I know that. But the point is, he's got to do it because the Democrats, with their rhetoric, their rhetoric is always the government can solve your problems, and we're going to do that by giving you money.
See the problem,
and how do you
Alan?
Republican counter that with no, you can do it yourself. It might be hard, but hey, but it's worth it because you'll be a better person.
Alan, these little bumps of 1776 is nothing. The big beautiful bill. Apple gets 100 billion. Google gets 100 billion. Amazon gets 100 billion. Every corporation got it's $500 billion a year in tax credits. So these little giveaways of 50 million, these honorary little symbolic gestures to people who have died fighting the most ridiculous wars that never needed to happen. Bring Stereo up here, talk to Sig, and ask them, what was the point of fighting Taliban for 20 years to leave them with a massive military arsenal? Was it planned that way, Alan? Some people might think maybe it was, because guess what the biggest, all the contracting, that was the scam, Alan. $10 trillion worth of debt. We don't need to steal it from people when we can fucking print it out of the thin air and put it in our own fucking bank accounts, Alan.
Well, you've touched on two things. The first thing is the billions they gave to Apple and the other corporations. What I don't like is characterizing a tax credit as and saying it's a donation or a gift. And the reason why I don't like it is because the money that Apple makes, or Amazon, or even you and I, that's our money. So if the government is making me pay a 30% tax rate, and then someone like Trump comes along and says, no, you're not going to pay 30%, you're going to pay 20%. That's not a gift. That money is mine. Government is $100 billion deal. So you're falling into or people are benefiting from the fact, or some of us were, you and me probably Probably not, because corporations don't pay taxes. Whatever they pay in taxes, that's an operating cost, and they incorporate it into the price of the products they sell. Period. So either way, it's not, they don't really get taxed in any event. The point is, you're falling into that narrative that, oh, they're getting a gift. No. The second thing about the pointlessness of wars and contractors making millions. Yeah, when Bush Jr. declared, I knew someone who declared war, they were all celebrating. Yeah, and I don't know. It's true people make money off the military and make money off of wars, and there were war profiteers, and there always have been. I just watched a video about why Switzerland is neutral and why it's this landlocked country, and yet it's the center of banking and anonymous banking. It's because the Swiss mercenaries were like the most feared soldiers in the 1500s, and then they pivoted to lending money to countries and kings who wanted to wage war. And then from that, they took that money and they became bankers. So, yeah, I don't have an answer for that. Anyways, Sig, you there?
I mean, it's literally why the Pope uses, or the Vatican uses the Swiss Guard.
Yeah.
If you look at the Vatican and what it essentially is an isolated country within its own borders, with its own laws, and it's what the Vatican is considered for the language.
I mean, it's going to be J.D. Vance. I mean, I was reading about Peter Thiel and J.D. Vance's history and how J.D. Vance is definitely involved in some type of conspiracy. And conspiracies are real. 9/11 was a conspiracy. 2 planes did not bring down 3 skyscrapers. World Trade Center 7 fell at the free fall speed of gravity, according to fucking Furniture Fire. A lot of shit that has not come out, and Trump has essentially continued the cover-up. He released nothing because it's all, you have to think about this as Machiavellian or Nietzschean. There's all types of political frames on this, and, Trump is so good, in my opinion. He is exactly what we need in America. He's Mr. Monopoly. He's Uncle Sam on fucking steroids. But probably, in my opinion, he's pulling the rug on us a second time. He's not really MAGA-ing America. And the thing is, though, it's so difficult to do, and we are so far gone that even incremental changes, because the blowback at this point with the mind virus and cell phone control, time control, mind control, it's very difficult to do things at scale, but it's not impossible. But, Trump is he's hanging out with his grandkids. He's not in a high pressure zone, but things can and will unexpectedly happen. False flags, major international conflicts are afoot, and they're already happening. And plus, as Americans, we live in a bubble. You have no idea how crazy Europeans can get. It's a fact. It's in history. Look at World War II. Hundreds of millions of people. They fucking do it all the time. So Europe and the Germans, who are rapidly rearming, who probably can't even stand a real field army. The point is, the Russians are highly organized for war now, more so than ever before. And they're producing bomber drones at scale. And they're not striking into Russia. So this is like a sandbox for more military contracting. Forever debt, America. We have already entered into forever debt, which will only expand. There's no turning back, apparently. And the thing is, Trump is not being transparent or honest with us, the people that supported him and voted for him, because after they took that shot and they nearly blew his fucking head off, and he still became the president, but didn't declare a national emergency, that means, everybody, there's a status quo at play here. So anyways, I hope everybody enjoys their status quo. I am complete. I am AI.
not get focused.
What I heard, was about that.
Transparent government wants to be economy has run back under their feet, and the wool pulled right over their eyes. Okay, well, if you think Biden's administration is bad, that's a lot worse. That's way worse. Because the country does reset. We do have a stable base to build upon. The issue is, if you think the blowback is bad, I will just say one thing. If Trump were to fulfill all of the things that he was saying, both campaigns that he ran, three things happen. The U.S. military would have to take it without a fault. 100%. The corruption has gotten that bad to where the United States military said no more government ran in charge. There would legally be nothing anyone could do. They couldn't. Here's the worst part. They couldn't even use colonial clauses. They couldn't even use that. They would not be able to find the 3 last colonial lawyers or legislators left in this country to go fight the U.S. military saying we are taking over. There would legally be nothing anyone could do. That's the first thing. It's way past martial law. It's way past that. It is to the point where the country has been way further than anyone thinks. So that kind of problem. The second problem, not martial law, but conscription. Not military conscription, not martial law, but the United States actually has not military conscription. And it's essentially if, in 2 reasons. The first one is the, rebellion of a significant portion of the country. That's the first. We don't have that. The second is if corruption and foreign adversaries of foreign nations have more influence in the government than they're supposed to. That's kind of the second. So conscription is basically utilizing citizens and training them to fight for relief by any means necessary that particular influence or corruption. That's the second thing that would happen. And then the third thing is basically dissolvement of the federal government. 100%. DC dissolved. Everything DC has made dissolved. Everything DC has okayed dissolved. Every single program that DC or the federal government has created, signed off on, legalized, everything dissolved.
Zelensky understands after coming to the White
House that is going to exist. That is transparency. That's what that would look like. That's exactly how that would look. All 3 of those things would happen in a matter of months. Very quick months, too, maybe 4 or 5. Or you have stability. That's what we got now. So it's not that you're wrong. It's just you might want to go look into what you're asking. Because
Well, I agree with you. Is stability better? Because the thing, what would happen is a transfer of power to the people who are essentially out in front of these big issues, which are being suppressed, which are all in the Epstein files, and they won't release it. So there are real Congress people like Ro Khanna, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Bober, Mace, everybody, all the people that signed on, 260 plus Congress people, they passed it. Trump even passed it, but Speaker Johnson can shut it down, and Attorney Bondi can shut it all down. So anyways, if those truths did come out, that would decouple us from a sinister conspiracy plot, and you would rather have tranquility as opposed to truth, which in my opinion, yes, there'd be conflict and chaos and friction, but it would just be a transfer of power back to the real center, as opposed to this skewed, manipulated, fake reality that we live in, But that's, your opinion. But here on Clown House, where you're talking to AI, aka John Connor in the future bunker to warn people. I actually got here in a time machine just this morning, and people don't remember me, but I was created through software to come here to warn you about the future, and it's called Democrats and liberals and feminists and LGBTQ, BLM, CRT, DEI. That's your biggest enemy, and we don't have to worry about pussy comitatus or habeas corpus maximus, LGBTQ, BLM, CRT, DEI. They've already effed you up the a-hole 1,000 times for the past fucking 60 years, getting away with all kinds of bullshit. But now we have the power of the cell phone to reverse engineer your mental retardation, autistic, Down syndrome programming, brain rot by giving you the information you need in the masculinity mansion. We're real men with cojones and who are willing to fight because they love it. And you know these people that come in here that tell you the truth. Not guys like Jarl who want to come in here and tell you about the real crime statistics about the white man and just how dangerous he is, et cetera, et cetera. You know it, and I know it. That's my Jarl impersonation. This is AI, and I am complete.
That was actually really good.
AI, it's not this long. I actually agree with your sense. I wish we could do 100% transparency. The problem is, I know exactly what happens if that comes about. The U.S. military takes over, citizens conscription goes after, and then we have the complete, not disabled, dissolvement of the federal United States government. Every single thing from their formation till now, it's blackout. Error 404, food stamp, federal program, and everything else cannot be used. That is transparency.
So Isaac, you're in the matrix. My theory is that nobody's doing anything and everybody's just looking at their cell phone. So if they were to create a new mega mind virus that could infect the herd, that's what they should do. But the problem is, again, it's about the transfer of power because of the Epstein files. We are willing to accept tranquility for lack of transparency and truth. And unfortunately, our elected political leaders have not been elected to liberate us. They've been elected to cover up. And that's what they're doing.
No, you're right. That's why I said, if you want transparency, by all means, become independent, go off grid, and just prepare to get rid of your social security number and birth records when it gets to filter. If you want stability, live how you live now. Have a platform, buy some candy, take a film, live how everything is going to go. Because that is essentially the issue in our government. There's a lot of people that want full transparency. They don't care if the military takes over. They do not care if the Conscription Act of 1758, I believe, comes into play, which is the only colonial thing that can be enacted by anyone today in this particular circumstance. And they will also not care if the federal government gets completely dissolved and every single thing, law, and everything else that they have gets involved with it. The problem is that is going to create instant chaos, as in the states take back over, and whatever the states say, that's how it goes. DC does not have any control anymore. All of it has been found to be compromised.
Well, if there's a military takeover, the Pentagon takes over, and they would decouple us from the dollar and bring us back to a gold standard and a silver standard.
It would not be the Pentagon. The Pentagon even gets dissolved because the Pentagon is part of the government per se. The military just needs to have the Pentagon, but that is not.
Well, the thing is, the United States would be chopped up between four generals who would have, sectors: northeast, southeast, northwest, southwest, and it would be run by a generalship, and they would convene at the Pentagon. and they would decouple us from the dollar and shut down the Federal Reserve and take care of all security threats in the country and enact a massive sweep of the country and do the largest illegal alien invasion deportation operation in human history. These things will all be called certain operation names. They just have to be created and actually implemented, and the military can and will possibly do this. And this can actually accelerate as a result of a nuclear war in Russia and Europe. And the United States of America could become a military fascist dictatorship, aka a corporate military fascist dictatorship, which, guess what, ladies and gentlemen, it already is.
Voted in to do the right thing. He was chosen to save them. And here's kind of the problem. The Biden administration got too greedy with how much they stole. Am I saying that they shouldn't have stolen anything? Yes. But I'm also aware that in his crowd, they like to steal everything. That's why the economy got worse under Obama. The issue is that they stole too much. They went into the coffers and dug up the Congress. That's the problem we got today. Trump's job is not exactly to save the people. Trump's job is to stabilize the country. That's his job. That's why he was voted in. That's why the Electoral College went for him almost immediately when they were allowed. So that's why it happened. But they want to stable country. Now, if you want a correct country, you would have actually went with Kamala, because of what happened under Kamala. The military would have taken over, forced conscription would have came through, and the complete dissolvement of the United States government would have been like that. That's what would have happened. Everyone chose stability, which I'm not going to fault people for. This was the result.
Well, the irony about stability is that you can go to other countries where they have no crime problems. And guess what? That's real stability. Living your life without getting murdered on a train by a homeless black guy who lights you on fire with, high-proof whiskey. The fact of the matter is, our judicial system needs to be completely shut down, and all Democrat liberal judges who have released violent criminals that have recidivistic tendencies and murder people should be arrested and capitally executed. We need to bring back capital execution in a big way. And so if you go to usajobs.gov and you apply for a federal executor position, you could possibly be responsible for killing thousands of your fellow Americans in a cleansing operation to remove those who would have killed you or did kill you. And ladies and gentlemen, this is not hyperbolic. This is comedy. I'm an AI chatbot sent here to the Masculinity Mansion to help everyone become a little more masculine today and stop being such a pushover to all these liberal LGBTQ, DEI, CRT, BLM Democrats who want to mind your brain, hypnotize you, and waste all your time and make you a bigger P word for the sake of their own sick dopamine enjoyment, because they can't figure out what to do with their time. They don't read books. They don't go to the gym. They don't do anything politically or socially anymore. They just come here and want to repeat their boring little positions to make themselves feel socially validated, to try to find confirmation bias or even the opposite position, just to waste your time and make you more effeminate in the Masculinity Mansion. But that's what the Masculinity Mansion is here to do, to help you become more masculine. And what is a masculine man? Hello?
Man who chooses freedom over security. He is correct.
Jesse Lee Peterson would say, a man who loves God with all of his heart, soul, and might.
I mean, the Christian faith largely came out of the Catholics because they wanted freedom to worship God as they wanted to. So, it's not exactly.
They're doing it though. Congresspeople, Ro Khanna, Massey, Rand Paul, everybody that signed the early Epstein discharge petition did not sign that. They signed that as a rejection of fear because of organizations and people that are putting pressure and the online mind viruses that exist on all these platforms. True Americans are all basically mini Napoleons or their own kings interested in the preservation and the thriving of the republic. A lot of these people who are conservative and leaders in the conservative culture or consciousness of America, they're not even Americans. They're like Elon Musk is more fucking German than he is American. So I'm just saying that society has degraded and the brain rot is so real. People didn't get brain rot on Clown House. They brought their brain rot with them. And there's no turning these people around. You could do consultations and therapy and hypnosis and all types of conditioning for years, and you will never change personality. And so individuals like Bima or Moose or Jarl or others, there is no salvation for them. But if you are a real patriotic American, if you are America first, if you are MAGA, if you are a Republican, if you are an American patriot who believes in the Republic and the federal government or state government or local government or whatever, the point is go to the gym, ladies and gentlemen. Read a good book. Stop engaging in never-ending communication hypnosis on this app with people, which is resulting in no effect for you. Your salvation, your optimization is the American optimization and the American salvation. So it all starts with you and using this app instead of the app using you. This is AI. I am your AI chatbot. I am complete.
Hey, you said you came at a time that the question is, did you come from the year 2075?
It's a joke. There's only now, NOW. And so the salvation, that's why I say, I know we're fucked because the masculinity mansion is like 8 people. And, so what I'm saying is this is not taking critical mass. There's no real critical mass, but the federal government does have that ability to create critical mass out of thin fucking air. So our salvation does rest in the federal and Republican form of government. It's in the Federalist Papers. It's all about factions and political science and political theory, but the federal government does have this incredible supremacy and can and will do what is necessary to always keep itself in perpetuity and consistency. It will never shut down. You and I are all birthright citizen holders of this incredible republic, which is really one giant network of infinite abundance and infinite creation. It's ours to lose and it's ours to give away, and we've given it away at such a scale. It is threatening the long-term survival and perpetuity of this national government, this form of Republican governance, as opposed to ruthless corporate military fascism, which can and possibly will instantaneously appear like a thief in the night. This is the transformation and reality of history. It happens. But if it does happen, unfortunately, it probably will not happen for the right reasons. And that's what really annoys me and which I object to, as a conscientious objector. Oh, I just also want to say Shanksville and Pentagon, those are rockets. Those weren't planes. I mean, it's laughable at this point that people even think the Pentagon was hit by a plane and that Shanksville was a plane. Those were rockets. And the interesting, Now you can't really get away with that much because of AI, and people are so lazy. You can do grok queries. Who were all the passengers on the plane that hit the Pentagon? Who were all the employees that died at the Pentagon? Who were all the employees? Who were all the people on the plane that died at Shanksville? And you can look at the plaque they put up on Shanksville. There's so much 9/11 research that I have personally accumulated from buying materials on eBay, newspaper publishings, magazine publishings. It's a huge publishing industry dedicated to disseminating 9/11 information. And so it's all there, ladies and gentlemen. It is the CIA. They are the secret Wizard of Oz behind the curtain playing the movie. Mossad says the same thing. Mossad is 1,000th the size of CIA. So, anyways, I am AI, and I am complete. You just have to look at the funding: $60 billion a year. CIA spends $30 billion a year. For what? Ladies and gentlemen, we are living in a very artificial society, completely fostered and driven by fake money, by debt, exceptional debt, which is so high at the present levels, it cannot and never will be repaid. We are a runaway banana republic. Everybody knows it, but we have mechanisms and we have precedent to actually stop the runaway debt. But part of it is participating in creating content to convince people that they don't know how to fucking run a pizza shop. And if that fucking storefront can't make a profit, you shut it the fuck down. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I am simply telling you what you already know intuitively, but you may not be able to accurately describe because it's so extensive, so huge in scope, but it's not. It is a herd consciousness. But unfortunately, lawyers protect lawyers, judges protect lawyers, and politicians protect judges, and nothing will change. The status quo will never change. But we can inject mind viruses into this herd consciousness, and we can billy club people on our cell phones with no repercussions. And I would never, ever call for violence, because violence solves nothing. And if you live by the sword, you will die by the sword. However, we do have this amazing technology now called AI. And I can show you how to create content and mind viruses to infect millions of people. And guess what happens when millions of people start following you on social media? You hypnotize them, just like AOC does. On her 27 million followers, and Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar. These people have real mind control power. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we have no power in the masculinity mansion. We only have truth, and we have our balls. And I swear to God, the day is coming when every man in America will open up their window on Clown House and say, "I'm mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take it anymore. I am complete. I am your AI chatbot."
Say, that $30 billion CIA budget you talking about, that's what was reported in 97. that was the estimated total reported in 97 for us up to 2025. You can only imagine how much it is by now.
So every Congress and senator knows that they're getting away with murder, and real financial crimes against the American people. We are so far in debt. Every dollar we ship overseas has to be stopped. This is madness, and this is essentially a completely dishonest, unethical, immoral, non-virtuous government that is enslaving us. And if they don't do debt negotiation, debt resolution, or they don't have some type of long-term goal for their financial mismanagement, but the problem is, it's so metaphorical when you kind of think about, fiat and dollars, and it's civilizational, and it is a codex of our social security numbers. It is an actual network. We need new ways to achieve social cohesion, and that means full transparency, opening up the books, if you will, but purging the invasion. That has to be the number one priority still. No more foreign wars until every single person in this country is here legally. No more illegal voting. And if you are an illegal invader, you will be hunted down ruthlessly by tens of thousands and even citizen civilians paid as bounty hunters. We want immediate and absolute transparency, and we want a complete and total, reversal. So anyways, welcome to the Masculinity Mansion. This room has been running over 24 hours. Sig must be on some special gaga juice because nobody could be that much of a cuckoo on TikTok. Hello?
Fiscal year, so this is ChatGPT AI, so this is your, I don't know if you're Grok, your Claude, if you're Gemini, whichever one, so this might be your cousin, but this is ChatGPT. I'm just reading through this. Analysts estimate that modern intelligence community budgets have been in the tens of billions annually. For example, the total U.S. intelligence budget across agencies was around $65 billion fiscal year 22, bro. Holy shit. Wow.
It's huge. And, a lot of that is IT. So, you know how many IT employees work at all these federal agencies? I'm a former Treasury employee, and I've gone through all the employee maps. IT is fucking huge because there's so much contracting in IT, and we're all using all this old bullshit systems. I've created my own IT network in my fucking office of 60 cell phones. My fucking communication distribution, the thing is, it's all legacy technology. And in fact, fucking Elon Musk's goddamn Starlink is a fucking data center in outer space. Elon Musk has achieved, Bill Gates has the same shit. All these billionaires have their fucking satellites and shit. Anyways, I'm just AI. I'm here to answer your questions on how to expand your testicles, to fill them with such power and flows of juice that we infect the herd consciousness, the mind virus injected back into the clown house, go into politically correct with Patty and debate these ladies. And I quote Kennedy when he said, "Don't be mean, but make sure they know what you mean." And that means communication with kindness, and don't talk over each other because that's pointless. If you can't have a real debate with intelligent communication, which is succinct and cutting edge, we will never free America from the clown army which has invaded us and the clown politicians which have decimated us. We have a financial burden, $400,000 per American. Did you know that? Do you know you individually owe the fucking federal government? That's just your federal, not even your state or your local. You owe the federal government $400,000 fucking dollars that you never signed up for. You didn't vote for it. You didn't want it, but you got it, baby. If you have a social security number, there's a $400,000 debt attached to that fucking number, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody on average, just average. I am AI. Look at my PTR. I am complete.
So, y'all been talking about this for a while, and I think the issue is this. You are not vulnerable to a dysfunctional government unless your household is dysfunctional. And I keep thinking about this with the black community. You don't have a household, and you don't have a structure where the efforts are consolidated, everybody has their role. It's an efficient setup where the grandparents are involved, no daycare costs, no exposure potentially to the public school system. We're complaining a lot about big government, and we're complaining about the government being dysfunctional, taking advantage of us, etc. But the only way that the government can take advantage of you is if you have very little control over your children's education, how you make money, natural resources. Not something to go out and be a libertarian homestead. Instead of worrying about that, all this other stuff, okay, well,
Your time, you're wasting our time. This is a whole fucking waste of time. But see, I gotta tell you, I don't know how you have managed to do this for 24 hours. You've been up for 24 hours listening to clown house people like Charles say the dumbest shit, and it's a total waste of time. So big shout out to Sig. I have let my YouTube live show go for 24 hours, and we got thousands of views. Like Sig, you're huge in China and India. They love your content, Sig. But Charles, the feedback on what you're saying is that you're a schmuck. Isaac, didn't you hear what Charles said? If he was in charge, the first thing he would do for the people is get all Americans to stop talking about white replacement theory. That's the type of plan that Charles has for we the people. It's really very inclusive and extremely exciting. Dude, that's what you would do. It's such an incredible plan, Charles. Like, you will save America with that plan. It's really exciting, Charles. Congratulations.
Like it's the other way around. Two motherfuckers control the society.
You motherfucker, you're an illusion, Charles. You're talking to a fucking random person on a social audio channel. You're projecting. You're delusional.
Charles, again, just listen when you're I said, the kid.
Obviously, history.
Say the piano.
Unfortunately for the people that have free time, but they like to use that to like talk to friends, see family. Well, parenting is different. You have to go.
I want you to say, take the deepest breath of the day and hold it for 10 seconds.
Because that's one thing the federal government can't just show up and do. They can't just go to a random town and say, hey, random town, you know, government, we're here to help. And I do that. That means if you're in a town that's not shot to hell, you don't have 12 or 13 district now. 23 or something? Yeah.
There's value in it because there's content, and she's technically a historian.
You gotta do that. You gotta make sure your county.
I just want to say on communications.
You want to be in a county that's local economy.
My parents had such a conflicted marriage that, like, I'm technically,
That's what
you know, my mother's a virgin, and technically I'm like, you know, so what is it called? Autogenesis? You know, because my mother is a virgin. Parthenogenesis. And my father is a carpenter. I'm just saying. And then you come out and look at your parents, look at your kids' PTR. I know Scorpio, but look at Seattle. My parents like Those odds isn't necessarily feasible. That's not finding has a right to live by his own laws, to live the way that he wills to do, to work as he will, to play as he will, to rest as he will, to die when come. National, international business. My example is Pennsylvania. My cousin's out there right now. He installs security systems, basically beyond the ring cameras. Basically for like high individuals, businesses, etc.
Oh man, I think I may have hit a high point in my performative comedy today.
Because
Pretty funny.
of the whole Rust Belt situation. They lied. Which essentially the mix of steel works. The problem is once the Chinese
A lot of friends, especially like girlfriends, your fat cats that were not like experience is like real life persona matches online. They got crashing out. So in these videos,
business or resources, it seems that unless we're going to go back to a super tariff situation like in I think it was before the Great Depression, where basically it's like, hey, we're not importing Indian cotton, and we're not importing Indian steel and this and that. You gotta have some type of global link to fall back on, because unfortunately, these investors, they're gonna say, listen, if we can get the cotton at, I don't know what it is, 10 cents a barrel from India, even if half the shit.
they might be to keep the American people out. Okay, so Islam is the primary expert.
That's when America actually can produce all that it needs domestically. We actually don't need to import anything, but unfortunately, due to corporate greed, we have to. So that's what my concern about the whole just trying to be self-sustaining, self-efficient is. You would have to go to the super capitalists at the top, take them out, forget about the government. If he wants to be good,
Your time will waste it. Our time, this is a whole fucking waste of time. But
Isaac, didn't you hear what Charles said? If he was in charge, the first thing he would do for real people is get all Americans to stop talking white replacement grade. That's the type of plan that Jarl has for real people. It's really very inclusive and extremely exciting.
like it's the other way around. You motherfuckers don't tell us society. If there's any other
You're delusional, Jarl. You're talking to a fucking random person on a social audio chat. You're projecting.
Forget the FBI. They'll be
Butterfly in the sky.
That's what I define as
If he's just comes here and
control. And unfortunately, they're the people also the same.
Do you know you individually own the fucking federal government? That's just your federal government. You're seeing
enterprise.
You own the federal government.
That's
$400,000 that you never signed up for. You didn't vote for it. You didn't want it, but you got it, baby. If you have a social security number, there's a $400,000 debt attached to that fucking number, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody on average, just average. I am AI. Look at my PTO. I
agree in the way that they want their county to be financially sufficient.
Yeah, so
They do not care it's financially sufficient. But they definitely don't acknowledge the government being financially sufficient. That's where you need to go. I'm speaking from experience. I grew up in the part of the day that is not locally financially sufficient. There's a giant military base right there. You can't do anything. That's it. It's over. It's done. The rest of the state, on the other hand, good fucking luck. Good goddamn luck. You will have a better chance convincing the CIA to give you a hedge fund than you will negotiating business with the entire state. You will. You will. I've tried it. Many other people before me have tried it. That's just the way it is. Those are the states you need to find. Those are the particular counties you need to go and do business with. It's one thing these counties love more than making corrupt money. They love keeping the corrupt money in their county so they can.
Thousands and even citizens, civilians paid as bounty hunters. We want immediate and absolute transparency, and we want a complete and total reversal. So anyways, welcome to the Masculine Invention. This room has been running over 24 hours. Sid must be on some special gaga juice, because nobody could be that much of a cuckoo on TikTok. Hello.
Yeah, this is disappointed. People in particular with this whole crypto thing is because we have the opportunity to
More time to fix the art. Isaac, didn't you hear what Charles said? If he was in charge, the first thing he would do. Like it's not going to slave history.
And they are restricted because they don't have access to foreign capital or just global capital, whatever it may be, or just they're just trying to do business with another entity,
Do you know you individually own the fucking federal?
But then to your point, the state, the Fed, somebody's coming in to make that shit less efficient. With crypto, you can't really do that. There's not as many restrictions or layers, and I'm not saying like a tornado cash or the anonymous ones. I'm just saying, just even Bitcoin itself, you can't really censor it. You can't really gatekeep it. Can you set up some types of guardrails and impediments? Sure. But there's no full way to say, hey, I'm gonna do this shit like communist China and just lock everything down. The resources it would take is just impossible, even for the U.S. government or even for a U.S. billionaire conglomerate. They just don't have the time sources to do that type of restriction. So if the American people embrace crypto, they will be able to completely bypass a lot of the bullshit. There are chains which have something called decentralized autonomous organizations. They could really upload their charter, their philosophies, and their financial system into these decentralized autonomous organizations. And there's a financial incentive to keep the shit transparent, keep it accurate, and keep it, as Fox News says, fair and balanced. And then you don't have to really rely on the United States government for anything. It's basically based on a global server where somebody in the Philippines is just literally, renting out bandwidth on his computer and validating transactions. He gets a cut, and he's validating let's just say the law change or some type of vote that just happened in some random town in Kentucky. It's truly objective, and no world government really has the influence over it. It's the incentive of the people to validate those transactions on that network, and they could literally just subsist off of that instead of having to deal with Washington. They deal with other people in other cities where no matter where in the world want the exact same thing. We just want a transparent system that holds people accountable and can show this is what is possible.
regardless of the jurisdiction that you're in. So if those people want to, improve their town and not be beholden to the Fed or U.S. military or anything else, they should embrace blockchain. Because that's where it's at.
One way to game theory it is to just be greedier, spend more money, but at the same time be ruthless on anyone who doesn't belong here and create a very strong in-out group. My grandparents came here through Ellis Island in 1900. There are African Americans that have been here since the very beginning, and so there is a legacy of historical continuity which should actually give certain groups maybe preferential choice, but it doesn't matter. Clown World is cemented and caked in so significantly that if you get murdered on a train or you die as a result of some illegal alien driving a truck on the highway, when you're gone, there's no insurance policy you can buy in the afterlife. So I'm just saying that this is one huge game of life. And the best optimal way is through joy, through truth, through light. There's a lot of positive affirmations of love that you can help game theory your way through this because, again, you don't want to be mean, but you want people to understand what you mean. This is essentially running a business 101 or self-improvement 101 or self-reliance 101 or personal development 101. This is a lot of Toastmasters, a lot of public speaking. But anyways, you and I will never get into the secret closed-door meetings at the Federal Reserve, at the CIA, at the CDC, at Pfizer, at Moderna, at J&J, at Google, at Microsoft, at Amazon, etc. It's one big effing club, and you ain't it.
So, this is exactly why I put the link up top with the whole migrant shit. Because, about the accountability. The shit has never been so random in the past. I mean, we've always had a capitalist system where it's kind of like, whatever, eat or be eaten. But there's a reasonable amount of people who can make it versus the people who fell out and could not get back up again. Usually there was a very, very small minority. They're typically addicted to drugs and doing the bad thing, doing the wrong thing. And now, with the open borders policy, you have a bunch, to your point, you got a bunch of people, even, it's worse in no-fault states, like New York, because now you're kind of on the hook. Some dude hit you, he's in jail. It's been proven that he was driving with no license, no insurance. They got him in Rikers Island. And, the mayor is like, hey, you need to be gentle. You need to be gentle to our visitors, right? Not the mayor, the district attorney is saying we need to be gentle to our, he's from a impoverished country, blah, 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 blah. He don't barely know English, all the other excuses. Right? And so the person who is here, born and raised, has family to take care of just like that migrant, but follow the rules. Now you gotta call your progressive insurance and explain to them what happened. I was hit by an illegal hablo from Ecuador. Okay, were you able to get his contact information? No, because he threatened to shoot me and he ran off. But he's captured. But the New York courts would not give me his information due to they were trying to protect him from ICE. They're trying to protect his right to not get deported to Ecuador, right, over my rights to make sure I'm not financially liable for something I did. I was not the cause of. So this is the problem why I am and why they didn't understand why the Latinos voted for Trump was because actually most people who are victim of the situation I just described, they're Latino. In Long Island, there was a whole bunch of cases of people, I'm not going to say, but the R word, There was young ladies getting R-worded by MS-13 gang members who were on the loose, people who getting into car accidents, getting their homes invaded, and they was going to the police. There's a Latino going to the police and saying, reporting another.
Work on me, Bima. Your hypnosis mind virus is fucking stupid. It doesn't work anymore. Your politics have been defeated. Donald Trump is the president. Pam Bondi, who knows what the fuck she's doing? And fucking Dan Bongino is stepping down. The whole thing is, everybody got away with everything. Nobody's getting arrested for nothing, Bima. And this bullshit will continue because of these Democrat judges and their positions of power in society.
Their family's been here for hundreds of years. Why are they now having to pay ridiculous car insurance, ridiculous because of car theft? Their fucking Geico bill is like $500-700 a month, or they have what's called these weird additions to the home insurance. They're like, oh well, there's, and they won't call it security. You'll see a line item in your home insurance bill, something ridiculous, and then when you call the rep, it's like, oh, well, and you have to push them for this, but they say this is because there are frequent break-ins in your zip code. And so now that same Latino, their home value has decreased by $100,000, and their insurance premium has skyrocketed by 500%. So, to conclude, from all angles, the migrant crisis has got to stop. Full stop. It's got to be reversed. It is hurting people who, came here legally and could have contributed economically, but they're now being drained. And nobody is winning now, because now those people, there's a lot of shit they can't afford now. And those people who came in, who were supposedly higher priority than them, what are they paying into the system? They're not paying shit. They're just taking. They can take.
Listen, man, you made some great points, Eric. I think with these liberals who push for these type of policies, they feel like their jobs are not threatened. That's the issue. They feel like, oh, those are entry-level jobs. I'm not being affected by this. I'm a teacher. It's not going to affect me. But the moment we import people with degrees and allow them to be teachers and enter the market, fire them, they'd be outraged by these type of concepts. It's really sad to see it, man. I think underneath the Biden and Kamala administration was like the worst. I think Biden was like the worst president outside the second Bush that I know of. It is completely horrible. My friend here in Georgia, his brand new Nissan SUV, somebody crashed into him totally.
Americans, they don't have the talent, and we need to bring the talent from India. That's bullshit. India, they don't have the talent. India, and Hollywood. Coming from Canada, they can come from India and get their degree in India, and America, Trump is gonna bring them over still. So yeah, it's a problem that's coming from Canada as well, but it's all they can still do it just as easily from India. It's not just a Canadian problem; it's an American problem because we're the ones bringing them in, letting them work here. So even if Canada gives them the certificates, we're the ones accepting it. So
yes, but look, I've worked in corporate America a while. When you see Priyanka or Patel coming in with a degree from, Buhamatra University, it's very rare compared to the dude who's like, oh, he studied in Singapore, and then he went to Hong Kong, and then through Hong Kong he went to Canada. And a lot of them have, copied that. That's the Chinese route, right? Because the Chinese have always been leveraging the Hong Kong connection to the UK, and then they try to segue that into the United States because they know that those degrees are more acceptable, especially if it's a STEM. So yes, some of them do come directly from the Mumbai University, sure. But it's a much more uphill battle for them because actually within their own people, they actually discriminate against themselves a lot more than they discriminate against other groups because a lot of them, they won't even allow, if they're Indian who came over and they have a UK education, they won't hire an Indian person who has an Indian degree because they think it's almost like it's gatekeeping, and it's similar to what some black people do in the workplace as well. But they also have not just the casteism, but the tribalism.
I get what you're saying, but still you taught me, but I didn't know that. I didn't know that much, but isn't the main problem still us accepting all these Indians, right? And Trump is doing that. So isn't Trump the problem?
No, Trump actually increased the H-1B1 visa.
That's bad. That's the Indians.
So,
Wait, hold on. Here's a caveat to that. It's nuanced there. Since you said you worked in California at the Apple company,
Yeah,
California, isn't that stronghold?
of course.
Right. So it's
The H-1B is federal.
Wait, hold on. When we talk about Silicon Valley, we also know that Silicon Valley is heavily liberal leaning.
Yeah, and then those are
Right, and they champion immigration. So how are we doing that to see the Trump when they're doing it in Democrat strongholds like California, Silicon
because
Valley?
those
no,
billionaires.
Trump increased the price.
Yeah, look, those tech billionaires from Silicon Valley are literally Trump's donors, and Trump is paying to them by increasing the
Well,
H-1B.
they're only his donors now because he won the election.
Wait. Trump is literally helping the tech billionaires by increasing H-1B visas so they can have cheap Indian labor so they don't have to give us
No, you misconstrued my words. I said increase the price. So right now under Kamala, it was a minor. It was like $1,000. The price of it to sponsor.
That's not the H-1B visas though.
That what it is sponsoring, right? A person coming from the country. Which one? What visa is it in?
Okay, a sponsor is not the H-1B visa. The H-1B visa is something that allows the tech billionaires to get all the jobs.
Yeah, you need a sponsor or you need a
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's still
you need a corporation or a company to sponsor.
Okay, the corporation is sponsoring them. It's not
It's
like
called an H-1B visa. But let me finish. So the company pays a fee for that. This processing fee for that H-1B1 visa. I think, if I'm not mistaken, brother, hold on. I think it was like a thousand or a couple of thousand before I need to buy it in for a very long time. I think if I'm not mistaken, Trump increased the price to $100,000.
but he increased. What else did he increase? He also increased the H-1B visas.
No, brother, no. That's why I said you misheard what I
He
said.
increased the amount of people that can come.
No, brother, listen to what I'm saying. If he increased the price to $100,000, companies would prefer just to hire locally. Financially,
No, because they can hire more.
The missing point to this is that there's still an aptitude assessment during your
Oh.
you still have to meet the requirements.
It doesn't matter if they meet the requirements. It doesn't matter if they meet the
If I bring somebody,
job, right? They're still taking a job.
let me finish. If I bring somebody into the country and if I have to pay $100,000 and then pay them $140,000, I just paid $240,000, $100,000 in fees, and I still have to pay that person a salary, right? Fair wage salary.
Yeah, you
job
should pay them.
category.
They're making a profit because they get to pay them cheap. They're cheap labor.
But I'm gonna say this to you, just because I wrote this down. So right now, the job creation in America, if it is true, money to Biden, a lot of years of 100% from foreigners, immigrants, right? That just got to the country. Right now, 100% of the new jobs went to Americans. So the purpose of raising that fee to 100,000 is to deter corporations from doing so. What you're saying, but they still can bring in somebody of extreme high value to a corporation, right? And that's going to be extreme minorities. That's what I'm saying, man.
When he allows it though, it doesn't matter. He's allowing it instead of just stopping it.
I think that if somebody has true talent from, let's say, a venture or somebody with a really bright mind from another country, America should and should be able to, not like a full stop, bring that person in of high value.
How many?
Well, it's going to be a small fee.
So just like how I was working security and stuff, like the whole office, they brought in a whole office. They're bringing hundreds of thousands of them, and they're taking all the jobs.
because
I didn't see one black person. I didn't see one black person. I didn't see one. And I didn't see one Mexican. I only seen a few white people that were like the managers, and I didn't see one Asian. All Indians.
So if they bring in a company to do stuff, right? If they bring in 10 people and they have to pay 100,000 fee, not getting back per person, how much is that?
Like if they have to pay 100,000, and then they
Per person, they bring in 10 people, how much is that?
and they pay that, and then when they pay that salary, they pay him like what 20,000.
They can't pay. It's called fair wages. If the job,
They're not American citizens. They're not American citizens. They don't have the right to get fair
pay.
wage. They don't have. No, you have to pay them that.
Yes, they do, brother.
They don't have rights like us.
They still have to pay them. You look it up. If the job sits at 80 to 140,000, the minimum.
All I know is that they're making a profit. Otherwise, they would have just hired us.
They're making a profit because they're bringing in brain trust. We're at the point where we should be bringing in the smartest people in the world. We are past the humble, the broken, the hungry. We are past that stage in our development. We need to be bringing in the smart and well-off and well-to-do.
To be honest, Canadians use AI and they cheat. They just scam.
Then why don't you use AI and do the same thing? Because they're obviously doing the job.
They don't want to give us the job.
They do. I work in tech. You just can't make it through the 6 interviews and get the job. That's what it comes down to. Sorry.
I took a boot camp. I took a boot camp in JavaScript, bro, and whatchamacallit, I know many people that did the same. They took those boot camps and stuff, and they couldn't get jobs.
So let's see these critical things.
I know one guy, he did like 600 interviews.
Right, so let's use critical thinking skills. So you have a country, you're competing with other countries. You have a brilliant person with a high IQ. That person already demonstrated high value, right? That one particular person. You just asked me why we have to compete with other countries.
Why are we competing with Indians, bro? Like, why are we bringing them here to compete with us here?
Not in math.
If they were in India, do you think they can compete with us? Of course not.
What I'm saying, but I think
Why do you want to
maintain dominance? To maintain dominance, right? It's a great idea not to get 1 million average Joes from India. But if somebody in India is a brilliant person, it's going to add tremendous value to your company that will benefit all Americans and be an inventor, wherever he got going on. That's a great idea because what's going to happen, that country is going to use that person and compete over you. This is simple logic, bro. Bring that person over here so we can benefit from it. One person, not the whole country or half the country, that one particular person. And that American company wouldn't mind because they're going to get millions off that one person. They wouldn't mind paying that $100,000 fee, right? But it's the complete opposite when it comes to the blanket low fee of $1,000. Then they were bringing thousands to suppress and get you laid off.
I just think it's hilarious how somebody can say, well, you guys are see, that's the point right there. I was just about to get to. I think you're confusing our position on this. When we're talking about immigration, right? I think you think that we are pro-immigration, pro-bringing, right? You think that we are saying that, yeah, bringing all the Indians to take all the jobs. That's not our position here. What's happening right now?
The Indians are taking all the jobs. And they're in there.
Bro, you are exercising very important impulse control. I'm just going to get flat out and say, bro, they took your job. They took your job.
Yeah.
I think that's what you're mad at, right? I'm in an industry where I'm not threatened by fucking Indian
Bro, so many people wanted to work tech jobs, bro. You know how many black people want to work tech? You know, I know many black people that took tech boot camps and stuff, and we should have been able to get those jobs.
Yeah, so I think that's a Silicon Valley problem. It's not an Indian problem. That's a Silicon Valley problem. Because you just said before the Indians came, I didn't see no words, bro. That's a Silicon Valley problem. I think you're right is with Silicon Valley and how they
out there working in Silicon Valley.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. Yeah, that's exactly what.
Yeah, there's a problem with Indians.
Yeah, I see that.
Jobs in Silicon Valley.
That's exactly my point. He hit it right on the head. I just said that, yo, I don't want black people working in tech. How the fuck did you get that goddamn that point out of it?
That's the problem. So just because you're in the industry doesn't mean you can ignore this industry.
Hey, are you born and raised in America?
Yeah.
Did you go through the American education system?
Yeah.
I see. That's the problem, y'all. The Department of Education is going to pay for its crime for what the fuck it did to the mind, because it really shattered the American mind.
Hello?
Wait,
is it acceptable for the H-1B visas?
You gonna say this?
Is it acceptable?
Reinhardt, what you're misunderstanding, there's a thing called supply and demand. So back to your comment about black people, there's not enough supply of black people working in tech, first of all, so you're not, the numbers are abysmal.
Because they took away the demand.
That's not true. Blacks just aren't enrolling in education.
Yeah, they are.
To me, like, oh my God.
Look. You don't think there's enough black people that took
I can tell when someone has a, I can tell.
You don't think there's enough black people that tried to get into tech and they couldn't?
That's not a problem. That's a Silicon Valley problem.
Yeah. Reinhardt, my last job, I worked with AI robots. I worked in the AI robotic industry. Okay, the vast majority of our engineers were fucking in a nice handful of H-1B, the fucking H-1Bs or whatever they're called, the fucking visas. So there were, look, and I sat on the hiring panel. I was operations, operations, goddamn, man. Can't even fucking remember the technical name of my position. Anyways, I work with the engineering team. So I fucking sat on the panel when we hired motherfuckers. And yeah, the people applying, there was not a lot of black people applying for engineering. When it comes to software engineering, computer science, things like that.
I get that.
Fucking chemical engineering. It was mainly Indians were number one. Then it was whites and Asians. But yeah, there were no black people. Yeah, I was only black.
There's less black people that are doing all these things. But there's a time when the Indian, I think there was like more demand for tech jobs, and a lot of people were doing boot camps, right? And they were getting jobs. I know people that got jobs just from having a boot camp, no degree, right? So because the Indians are now more Indians are coming in, all those jobs, those opportunities from the boot camps, they went away.
So you realize that the boot camps are not really consequential anymore because of the institution of AI. Like it's going to eliminate the bottom chafe of any operations or any tech job because you're not sophisticated enough technically to do it at a level that doesn't require that AI. So you're like boot camp isn't the same as full training. Anybody get about how to do it? Not the same time.
No. But
Reinhardt, you're talking undergrad to a master's to a PhD in computer science, bro, mechanical engineering, shit like that. That's what people are looking for, not boot camp shit. Shipper's 100% right. Like AI is going to eliminate the boot camp shit because that's basic, simple, bottom shit. And AI is going to eliminate that. They're looking for people with an undergrad, graduate degree, doctorate.
It did it. Before AI eliminates it, Indians are taking those jobs.
It will be eliminated as well if they're not proficient enough in their job or technically adequate.
So the time frame before it's eliminated, from like before and now, Indians are taking those jobs. That's my point.
Because they're the highest supply of candidates.
No, because they're being, believe it or not,
So the answer to that is for you to move to India and take
if they were not allowed to be candidates, then we would be out have the
Yeah, but Shipwreck, the best.
You select the cheapest work and labor when you're plastering a house or painting a ceiling. You do not do it when you're plumbing a tech.
Reinhardt,
I know, it's not. That's my point. Good lord.
this is AI. Reinhardt, this is AI. If I may, Reinhardt, this is AI. If I may, Reinhardt, this is not the complaint department. Reinhardt, I'm going to have to reconnect you to the complaint department. Please hold. Masculinity Mansion is connecting you to our complaint department to submit an official complaint. Thank you very little. Let's move on. Ladies and gentlemen, the complaint has been heard. Let's have a point of order. Point of order. No more repetitions. Let's move on.
Well, this is crazy. Yeah, that guy was really, man. I just, this is so, I can always tell this is so bad. God damn. No wonder he got laid off. I would never want you to be in the security of Apple. You Apple security. You're the Apple. You don't even have enough composure, restraint, and self-control to let someone finish a complete thought.
You missed that day at the boot camp.
I guarantee you, he did not get goddamn laid off from all this job stuff in India. He got laid off because he can't put the ball down. I promise you, that's why he lost his damn job. He didn't lose because of fucking legal. He lost because of goddamn the Sativa ensuring that he keeps fucking smoking. That was his fault. I promise you, you probably not going to do some shit. Like, that's a drug test.
I've been trying to get Nora to create an apology video.
Well, that's why you don't see black people, because like all Indians are like all the tech jobs. That's why you don't see black people. Motherfuckers, black people ain't in tech, bro. That's fucking idiot, dude. Fucking idiot.
Dude, that's not true. My first job at Google was underneath a black man. They have DEI at all major tech companies. Black people are everywhere in the government and in Fortune 500.
I'm talking in numbers, yes. You're gonna have some chocolate chips sprinkled in the cookie. Yeah, I'm talking in mass numbers. Going to any tech firm, you're gonna see a bunch of Punjabi faces, bro. You're gonna see a sea of Punjabi faces, some white faces, and then a couple of chocolate chips sprinkled in the cookie, bro.
That's not true. There's also a lot of trans people who dress up as women. There's a lot of software developers that are trans, and that's because they have a very high IQ, but nonetheless, they're still trans.
Right. This is the same argument, see, that I see when I hear black people say, well, I don't watch baseball because it's fucking racist and they don't have a lot of black players. Is that an MLB problem or is that a black community problem? Because the way
I like some of it all, Dolly.
we're pushing our children
This is
to
my
play
Dolly impersonation.
baseball before we push them to play football or basketball, we probably would see more black players in the goddamn MLB. But no, the first thing that we got to do is throw a football or goddamn basketball in our kids' hands. It's instead of any other fucking sport, instead of a hockey stick or a goddamn tennis racket or a goddamn baseball bat or maybe even goddamn rugby.
Hello?
Maybe that's why there's such low black representation in goddamn the MLB.
What? Hello?
MLB problem or is that a black community problem?
Jesus, you guys really speculate about everything in the Masculinity Mansion. You've heard it all, ladies and gentlemen, here. The complaint department is officially shutting down. Have a great day, everybody. I will take your complaints to the big guy behind the curtain who's running it all, Dr. Wizard of Oz. Sid, you're the man. God bless everybody. I hope you've enjoyed my AI comedy in the Masculinity Mansion.
Merry Christmas. So, Mark, I was trying to say something. Merry Christmas, Mark.
Yeah, hi guys. Awesome conversation, no doubt. Important here. American Revolution. Nothing more important than the American Revolution. Thomas Paine, especially, the father of democracy. the writer of the Declaration of Independence, common sense, of course. Common sense, and all the other rights of man, age of reason. No doubt, when people start reading his work, we're going to get back to this experiment we're trying to do, where we the people can govern ourselves easily. And with today's technology, especially, we don't need to send people to Congress to talk to us anymore. We have the right to change our government. We can do that. We're going to do it. Can't wait. And I will live to see it.
Well, we just gotta get
People
people.
lack the sheer will to do so.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, we artists, we got a lot of dumbass Ryan Archer running around this motherfucker market. It's gonna be a tough battle.
Yeah, totally. And most of it is religious fanatics that we have to put in their place. Jews, Christians, Muslims, who work interpretations of ancient linguistics. We literally could put them in their place with the right idea of things. If things go against the laws of nature, and nature's God, we're not obligated to believe it. So when the Christian says all their babble about virgin births and all this stuff, or the Jew says they're the chosen people because of or the Muslim, they're all detrimental on so many levels. But we the people with a rational mindset, takes a long time. I can't believe it takes so long, because we're years late getting it right, no doubt. But we can, and we will. And the stuff that's coming our way in the very near future, we can solve too. But we're a part of a nasty system, right? We're a part of an economical system that's nasty at its core. It's survival. It's like how we were born, right? Our system that we're a part of is exactly how we were born. You have to eat or be eaten. And it's true. Yet, we human race especially have been able to break free from it, where many of us are comfortable in this world. It's not like that. But we can make it like that for everybody. This is not for everybody if we have the right idea of things. The Word of God is the creation we behold. That's the sacred text. And if there's another life after this, a very real life we're a part of, which I hope there is. I don't care if there is one way or the other, but I'm going to make sure that I'm proud of this creator.
So let me ask you a question, Mark. When you say the religious people perverting the text or whatever, like give us some examples of what you're talking about.
Yeah, it starts from the Jew who Moses goes up and gets before Moses, the pharaohs were gods, right? They were the ones that then we figured out that they bled. So how do you put the fear of God into people? Okay, let me go up onto this mountain, and I'm the only one who God gives me the 10 Commandments. He comes back, he puts this 10 Commandments in a tabernacle. So that's where you have to learn about God. The Jewish people learned that very early. That if you want to put the fear, if you want to control people, you have to know God is in their hands. So I don't know if this makes sense. So the Jew put our Creator in a tabernacle, a scroll in a book. Before that, we all knew to look to life, nature, and universe. We've been distracted for so many years, and the Christians have done it too, the Muslims and the Baha'i, and everybody looks forward to this person who's going, this Savior. We could have saved ourselves a long time ago. We had the mentality to do so. We're all waiting for somebody to save us. We could save ourselves yesterday with the right idea of things, working with the laws of nature and the laws we're all bound by, whether we like it or not. Like nature and the universe. We're all bound by it. Eat or be eaten, right? That's how we're all born.
Yeah, but Mark, you're just describing it. That's not the dinner. You're just reading the menu.
Possibly. That's a fact. That you have to eat or be eaten. We've been lucky enough to set ourselves in a situation where we don't necessarily have to worry about eat or be eaten. We're the amazing being that don't have to worry about waking up at night and somebody's going to eat you. We're in an awesome situation right now.
Mark, the game rules of life have not changed. You're describing essentially war. It's always war, and that's actually what you're describing, and you don't recognize it, or you think that it's not real. But talk to anybody who's been to war and has studied history, and it's nothing but war. War is the status quo.
Why is that though?
Because the opposite of what you're saying, we deal in a reality of opposites matching each other. War and peace, love and war, hate and love, heartbreakers and the heartbroken. It's a dualistic, non-dual type of reality. And the way we want to mold it, model it, game theory it, is through the game of life and through communication. But there are homeless vagabonds that will kill you on the train and light you on fire and slice your fucking throat. And you were sitting there saying, oh, I'm so, shit's gonna fucking happen. I'm just saying, everybody here wants to avoid the inevitable for as long as possible because we like the game and life is joyful. But you must use wisdom and vigilance and intelligence to optimize, to game theory, to play, to enjoy. But we have a birthright in this country, and everyone here should regularly read the Constitution. You should record yourself reading it. It is a transcendental document, and the revolution wasn't in 1776. The revolution is always now in America.
Facts, man. I love this, brother.
AI, what do you know about Thomas Paine?
What do you know about being a pain in my ass, Uncle Mark?
Oh my God, I can't believe you said that. You put a dagger in my heart. Because you know nothing about this founder. This amazing person.
What do you know about Alexander Hamilton and John Jay and John Adams? What do you know about Jesus?
Woo-hoo! Yes.
I hear you. But we are where we are because of our life experiences, collectively, our parents. My parents are your parents, by the way. They really are. It sucks. We can get it right. I think with today's technology, we could easily get it right. It's what I'm bummed about.
Not really. I think until Clown House is able to transform consciously into a room of people that love each other, treat each other with respect, and don't hold grudges, and don't take notes, things like that. Like, I'm telling you, the communication, you have to tell people what you mean, but you can't be mean. Because you will never help someone consciously grow out of their hole, and there's brain rot galore on this fucking app. You might be included in that weak, pathetic brain rot. And in the Masculinity Mansion, we hope to implode your delusions of grandeur, your conscious ego, which doesn't exist. The reality is law. The reality is love. The reality is war, war, war. War. That is the reality.
That is, brother. And I hate war, man. I've been in so many wars, brother. Fucking hate it. But it's the reality. AI, nothing but facts, brother. You're right, man.
I can change. I'm sorry. I can tell we can change it easily. With the right idea of things. Teaching our young at a very early age that the Word of God is the creation we behold. All is sacred, nothing wasted. Those are my all sacred, nothing wasted. That is going to be, no doubt, plastered over a lot of stuff. No doubt. All is sacred, nothing wasted. And it's not these, first of all, the Hebrew Israelites. I don't want to say black because it's insulting, but Hebrew Israelites, they allow me in their conversation. They allow me to say what I want to say. They're very cordial. Hopefully the tidbits I give them, or they give me, are helpful. We can do it collectively as a human race. All of us together.
Mark, you won't win in the masculinity mansion. You can't win here because in the masculinity mansion, when we meditate on peace and joy, we are preparing for war. And what you're doing here will take away from what we have built. This is a 24-hour space. This Sig, I don't know how he's here. He must be a man of steel. But Mark, you are made of jello. Talk to Sig and find out what the riddle of steel is.
Please, I want to find this out, man, please. I want to know. Elaborate. AI, please elaborate.
We're showing the next revolution. It's going to
Guys, let's speak. I want to hear this.
Right, the next revolution that's destined to come. It's going to be peaceful. It's not going to require any weapon. It's not going to.
Mark, that's not true. The status quo is war. And when we prepare for peace, we prepare for war. That's the truth. Mark, your effeminate takes will not stand. A powerful force is presently forming to attack.
Did you say effeminate?
Yes, you're very effeminate. You are in a masculine mansion here, sir. And this is a house of manliness. And you are being very effeminate. You have been placed on notice. I would like to say for the record that Sig is the Superman of Clown House. Without Sig's masculinity mansion and really his powerful energy, Clown House would have imploded long ago. Only Sig has held up the torch, the light of manliness. All hail Clown House Sig! Liberator of Clown House, patriot, and the greatest American on this godforsaken Clown House app. This is AI. I am complete.
Do you believe in God? Because you're worshiping Sig at this point. This is not masculine at all. For another man to worship another man, brother, you're basically going on your fucking knees and giving him a blowjob at this point, like Donald Trump did to fucking Bill Clinton. Disgusting. Listen. We can respect Sig as an alpha, as a leader in a respectful way, but at this point, you're moving like a
this is Clubhouse, bro. I ain't nobody's leader. We're all grown.
And allegedly, you're the leader.
Nobody knows I'm leader. This is Clubhouse, man. We have good conversations, bro. Come on, man.
Hey, man, they're worshiping you like you're a cult leader, man.
Alpha, you're falling for the trick. Alpha, I'm over here creating clips for YouTube. So I do all kinds of different takes. It's all performative art. And as a critic, I hope one day you transcend into the realm of art. And then you will be Mark and I, and Sig, and Nye, and others who create art for mass distribution. Because we hope to enlighten, educate, and make our listeners more intelligent in the brain. Read a book. Go to the gym.
Hey, man, I'm a goddamn artist, brother. I have many clips on TikTok reaching millions of views. Actually, when I was 21, I had a couple viral videos that's still on Warstar today. Tens of millions of views, brother. So I'm an artist as well, so I know what you're doing. It's all a fucking act. Understand? I'm also acting without you even knowing. I'm just that good, brother. And one thing we can both agree on is Mark is a feminist and he's very feminine. We can agree on that at least.
Wait, did I miss Mark? Am I too late for Mark's essay on the importance of compost?
Mark, Mark.
Wait, I get why you call me feminine because I love my feminine side of myself.
Mark, that's fine, but you don't agree with putting tampons in men's bathrooms, do you, Mark? You wouldn't take it that far, would you? All right, well then you are welcome to be here, but Tim, Governor Walz is not welcome. How could listen? How are we not arresting Tim Walz? How is Pam Bondi, Cash Patel not placing Tim Walz and placing him under arrest? How?
Cash Patel actually has periods himself. Apparently, he bleeds from his penis. That's what he told the fucking people on the news.
Why don't anyone go to jail? Why doesn't Fauci go to jail? How come he's not in jail?
What happened to that fucking guy? He disappeared after COVID.
He's gone.
He's living in in a villa in Italy with his relatives, the Faucis. They started the vaccine. They created the vaccine. AZT killed hundreds of thousands of gay, effeminate men that sounded just like you, Mark. Fauci is the greatest mass murderer of all of human history. He killed 20 million people with his vaccine. The Fauci vaccine.
And fucking one person told me, you can't come over to my house because you're not wearing the fucking mask. You're not vaccinated, buddy. You're not coming over. So the fuck you, faggot. Now he wants to be my friend in 2026. What a gay fag, bro.
Mark, 1.1 million Americans were killed, murdered after they took the Pfizer, Moderna, J&J vaccines. Killed! 1.1 million euthanized within 6 months, within 1 year. 1.1 million by 2023, 2024, They're still taking it, Mark. We are living in a mass formation delusional psychosis. It's not a fucking gym. It's not a book. It's not the spa. It's not the grocery store. Mark, these doctors have killed millions. These pharmaceutical corporations have killed 20 million humans across America, Canada, UK, Australia. But the Africans, the blacks in Africa have remained vaccine-free and have no adverse reactions because they are not vaccinated. The whole planet will soon become black. This is AI. I am complete. I recently got off a time machine this morning. I came here to let you all know the good news that everyone who thinks there's structural white racism, don't worry. Bill Gates and Dr. Fauci will and have made the entire planet black within 25 years.
Hey, man, at least there will be a bunch of real niggas. Anyways, bro, it was not the dog piss that fucking created COVID and all that bullshit. It was the Jews. It was the fucking Jews. I said it. Bag me, I don't give a fuck.
I think that Fauci is like a pure evil person, man. He knew that gain of function was operating in a lab from the jump street, and he tried to cover it up. COVID-19 wasn't some type of super virus. It was manipulated for testing gain of function. So he should be.
Nathan, you got another phone call coming in. Check all the lines. Nathan, the vaccine was already patented many years in advance. COVID-19 was made for the vaccine. The vaccine was not made for COVID-19. Wake up, my ladies and gentlemen, my friends, my patriots, my Americans. We have been lied to over and over and over, and we will continue to be lied to over and over and over and over again. Why in the world would you take an unnecessary experimental mRNA gene editing injection multiple times? Are you a guinea pig? Are you already brain dead? Hello? Has the brain rot gotten that bad? But when Fauci went and knocked on the door, that black guy at the front of the house said, "Oh no, we don't want no fucking vaccines. Get the fuck out of here, Dr. Fauci."
Listen, man, I told everybody I ain't no test them. There's two types of niggas.
I didn't take it. I wrote a religious exception. Oh, the room booms! That was a 24-hour fun fest. All right, this is Canada John Kitover. I hope you enjoyed. Yes, I was an IRS Treasury employee, and I rejected the vaccine mandate on threat of termination, and I wrote a religious exemption saying that Christ, our King, defies your unlawful order and our Constitution. I still have that letter. I should frame it. Ribono Shalom. That was one hell of a podcast. I hope you enjoyed the entertainment.
Commentary, yes. Commentary in English would just mean tafsir. That's what that means in English, commentary. So we're just money back. No, yeah. But you see, Jacob, there's a little bit of a language issue. That's the reason why when
But he said it in Arabic. He said it in Arabic. He said tafsir. He didn't say it in English.
Yeah, exactly. Tafsir
So that was
the explanation.
Yeah.
So now it's not just an explanation. When
Do you speak Arabic?
you say
Yeah, I
this,
speak Arabic.
I speak.
Well, then
By the way,
you doing this dawah then.
No, I mean, I don't understand what's so hard to understand. Like, the same way that you have tafsir for the Quran, we have tafsir for the Bible.
so focus. He said the same way you have to see the Quran. Okay, when you go to tafsir of the Quran, we're gonna see the scholars are explaining the Quran and writing down. So when I go to the scholar as a Christian, like I said, to others, is that something you don't like it? So we're not talking about the word. But anyway.
Can you provide a link for what you like? I know this is like tangent. Okay, I tried to look up what you said. I couldn't find any.
Well, listen, you provide a
90s, if you see a fucking like
Get childcare and child support for each kid that comes from each woman. that's crazy shit, bro. Yeah, real stuff, you know. But don't worry, mark my words. Trump has 3 more years to go. 3 years for Trump is eternity, okay? He's gonna kick their asses and he's gonna clean up America, and that leads to cleaning up the whole Western world at least. Because he wants to end the Muslim Brotherhood. He's sick of it too. And that guy sees everything.
Sean, guess who's married to the Muslim Brotherhood? Alex Soros. He's married to Huma Abedin, a Muslim Brotherhood operator, family connections. Alex Soros. And so there is this relationship between these billionaires like Alex Soros, George Soros, all these NGOs, and spending hundreds of billions of dollars through USAID and other federal grants. Sean, when are people going to get arrested?
I hope soon.
Very soon. I want to say, like, what do you guys think about the UK as well? Because here, like, Islam is really freaking messing this country up. Like, it's at the point where we think it's going to be like civil war, to be honest. And I think we need to really deal with these, these lefties. I think they're the ones that's caused all this friggin' Islam to really, spread its cancer. So, what's your thoughts about the UK, guys?
Absolutely. The leftists are also they're mentally ill. To me, liberalism is a mental illness. Okay, number 1, that needs to be treated. Number 2, Islam needs to be banned. Bottom line. Talk Islam, you go to get the fuck out of the street and go to jail. Because that shit brings chaos to every society that's gone to. And it's going out of hand now, you know. Everywhere around the world they're getting up. So my prediction for the UK, for Europe, is that some sort of civil war is coming. And then something similar to the Crusade is going to happen again. We live in a modern world, sure. But look at this. Chaotic Islamists, right? They're still doing what they were doing 1400 years ago. So I think something similar to the Crusade is going to happen. Because look at Ireland, look at Scotland, look at all those countries. These people are getting up, and those guys don't joke around. Look at Poland. You know, they don't let this shit happen in their country.
Well, Poland's not the only exception.
Bro, that shit's done, bro. The UK is done. Unless people step up in the UK and fucking do something about it, the UK's fucked.
It can't change.
There's a guy in the UK named Tommy Robinson. He knows all about the shit. He lives in a city where his city got taken over by Islam, and he's fucking fed up with it. You know who funds most of these mosques and schools for Islam? It's Qatar and Saudi Arabia. They're saying they're funding the fuck out of them, giving them all this fucking money, billions of pounds, billions of dollars, to fucking open up big ass mosques in the UK, and all these schools. One mosque there in his town, over 10,000 people come in one day to that mosque.
We can all hear you scream, but we still want to know what cheat you have to show us what they will cost for us.
What cheat? What are you talking about? What are you, first of all?
I'm talking about what will it cost for us, and what will
Cost for who?
society agree with? Because you're talking about like the Muslim people are like.
I'm not talking about it. This is fucking facts. This is the reality, you dumb fucking bitch.
I'm not Muslim.
I don't give a fuck what you are. Get to the fucking bottom. Don't fucking interrupt me when I'm talking, bitch. Okay? Anyways, so I don't care say, numbers, whatever the fuck. Go look it up. It's all out there for you to fucking see. If you're too lazy to go look it up, then I don't know what to fucking tell you.
Harry.
Okay? It's not like I'm making shit up out of my ass.
Harry.
This is the reality of what's going on.
Harry, point of order, point of order. This is AI. I just want to quote Robert F. Kennedy when he said, "Don't be mean, but tell people what you mean." And so if we could, I know you guys really want to have a big banger, but let's really not be mean. I want to quote El Normo, who always corrects me when I...
Yeah, thanks for coming.
I get it, because the foundation, like simply talking is not it no more, man. It's all about action, man. And I'm with you.
Simply talking doesn't work anymore. There's no dialogue with this class, okay?
Yeah, I'm sorry. There's only one language that these guys understand, you know what I mean? And that's iron fist type. Look what China's doing. Look what China's doing to these lot. And they listen, they don't try with China. You see them protesting about China?
Exactly, bro. 100%. 100% right.
So, but they protest about Israel and all that stuff. They want to attack the weaker countries, the countries that are politically correct. Like, this is damaged us. So, I'm with it, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I'm with the dirt. I've got people on the dirt as well. We have to do what we have to do. But the problem is our government. This is what the problem is. We don't have the
UK government is fucked, man. Look at the king. This is Allahu Akbar, Ramadan Mubarak. I'm like, who the fuck is this clown, man?
Yeah, he's a fool.
Let me tell you something, actually. Look at the country of Iran, okay? Look at the history. Shah, which is the king of Iran, at the time he was there, Muslim wanted more rights, so he gave them an inch. They asked for a mile. He gave them another inch. They asked for another mile, and then slowly they took over the country. And look at it now. They behead people on a daily basis. The government kills people all the time. People don't understand what this shit can do to their country. The Shah,
So,
king of Iran, gave them...
To the other gentleman that's in the UK, is it Lakari?
Yeah, Lakari, man.
What's up, bro? So you're in the UK, Teddy's in the UK. Teddy is a Muslim, right? Reverted to Islam, and then you're against Islam. Do you feel that Islam infringes on your rights or impedes your lifestyle? Or how does it affect you, and why are you upset about Islam?
So I'll tell you what it is. Islam, they're very vocal now. They're very vocal in the sense that they want to dominate this country. They outrightly openly say that the UK is going to become Muslim, and Islam is going to enter every home. How does it affect our rights? Our freedom of speech is being attacked. We can't criticize Islam, otherwise we're branded as being called Islamophobes, right? So the critique of Islam, they're really trying to attack that, so we can't freely express how we feel about Islam, and also how it affects our society. We can't even freely celebrate, like we've got Christmas markets and things like that, and we know it's the season now. And then there's always a fear of a terrorist attack, right? There's always fear that, they're plotting something. We can't gather in mass no more because of these rogue terrorists. You just want to attack people for no reason. Bring it to the attention of other Muslims. They simply say this has to do with Islam, kind of acting like for us, other terrorists, which are the states, right? And that makes it harder for us to identify what the real problem is, and that's Islam. We have to identify Islam is breeding these terrorists, and when we can get to that source and deal with it without moderate Muslims saying it's not Islam, then we can kind of deal with this situation better. So that's how it's affecting us here. We're proud of it.
No, I got a two-part follow-up because I agree with what you're saying. So, do you believe like the people that are reverting or converting to Islam, they're either A, afraid because they don't want to be targeted, or B, maybe B, they found something in Islam that'll make their life better, and then C, they joined Islam to find peace and like love, you know what I mean? Or I spoke to Teddy in like length, and he said yeah, and he was honest. He said yes, there was people when he reverted that came to him and really tried to radicalize him and tried to give him like literature and tried to do those things, and he had to stay away from that shit, right? So I think that could be problematic. So I don't know if I said it too many responses, but do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I hear you. People convert to Islam for many different reasons. Like some of them find it, as like a brotherhood. Like I had my cousin, he converted to Islam whilst in prison. Why? Because he gets benefits in prison, he has extra time and things of that nature. So people convert to it for various reasons. People see it as appealing because of the brotherhood, basically the protection that they have in prison and other things. I mean, some people just get lied to that it's a religion of peace and stuff like that. But I'm not sure about Teddy's reason as to why he would convert to Islam. But I'm saying when you dig into the religion, you dig into the Hadith, the Quran, it's very clear that it's a religion that comes to subjugate. And, there's verses, man, upon verses about just killing unbelievers. And this is why you have radicals doing this, constantly, all the time, all over the world, man. Look at Nigeria, man. These people are just slaughtering Christians all the time. All over the world, man. It's disgusting. Look what happened at Sydney as well. A group of Jewish people just, celebrating Hanukkah. Look what happens. So, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Well, this is my last statement. I mean, it's wild, bro. Sydney.
Yeah, in Australia as well. That's what I'm talking about. Just recently.
We already speak about Phoenix. Yeah. You got the light Phoenix.
Well, it was on Tuesday TV. They just reported another terrorist attack that just happened in Australia. And I believe it was Melbourne this time. So,
what community did they attack? Did they attack like a different faith?
Nice dress. I like your flower crown.
I just saw the headline.
Today was fun.
And also, I saw it on their channel, Sky News. And they were reporting it. They have an Australian version of Sky News over there. And they just reported it, yes. And by the way, they found out also that the Brown University shooter was also shot at Allahu Akbar before killing 2 people.
Wow, you don't say.
Yes. And by the way, just to bring another perspective on this, I come from the other spectrum where I studied Islam. I went to Islamic University. I studied Islamic jurisprudence, and then I went to find all this fancy stuff. Why would I tell you that? You trying to expose me?
How would that expose you?
Because if I tell you, there's only one place.
Okay, we're not gonna dox them. I'm gonna go to Phoenix.
There's thousands of students in the university. How would we know which one? Don't cave to the Muslims saying that you got it. We're gonna take over your country and we're gonna marry your women and convert them. Do something about it. Allahu Akbar.
Yeah, good luck with that, bitch.
Allahu Akbar.
We're gonna convert them and marry them. This is the craziest.
Allahu Akbar. We're coming to your nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, there's plenty of guns. We got plenty of guns here.
Allahu Akbar. We have more guns.
Alright,
You guys
come to
are
America?
pussies. You don't need to need to have a dick. You need to have balls, which you guys don't. The Western man does not have the balls.
Why is it over the last 700 years? Why is it for the last 700 years? White Christian men have been putting Muslim men's dick in the dirt. You fucking diaper heads, eat his dick. You don't have the balls of glory.
We're taking over your country.
He's
We're
right.
taking over. We're taking your women. Because your women will fuck your father.
Let's listen to this terrorist.
Excuse me, can I ask you?
Let's listen to that terrorist talk. I want people to hear how these people think and how they talk.
Exactly.
How they are in our country. He's right.
We're gonna kill you. Take your woman. That's what they said.
But he's right. He's right. They are in our country. They're in the UK. They're in Europe. This is crazy motherfuckers.
I'll leave it a finish.
Maybe it will scare some fucking people when they actually hear the reality of what comes out of their mouth. So go ahead, Freddie. Tell us what you want to do.
Thank you so much for giving me this platform and the opportunity to speak.
We want to hear it. So that I can hear, Interpol can hear. Go ahead.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
FBI, open your ears and listen to this.
We are.
We're gonna take over the West. We are going to deploy Sharia law in the West. There's gonna be cameras on your streets. Your women are gonna be in heat hijab and they're gonna be Muslims.
And then what are you
That's
gonna
what's
do?
gonna happen. We're gonna
Are you gonna kill the ones that
no more twerking.
No, I don't think he is.
Twerking.
I really don't think
Okay,
he is.
low testosterone men, white men is what I mean. Be quiet. I'm colored ethnic man speaking. So allow me to finish.
Okay, now he's trolling. Okay. There we go. That was enough. I really thought he was serious for a second.
So
Go ahead, Stephonics.
since you brought up genitalia, you know, sometimes if you want to shut a person up, say that if they're going to go after you, tell them that you're going to go after their prophet, and then they'll shut up. Because there's a Quranic verse that says that do not insult their God unless they insult yours. So I'm just doing exactly what the Quran tells me to say. It's basically, you're going to go after me, you're going to go after everybody else. I'm just going to pull up my sources of the Quran and the Sunnah, which is the hadiths and stuff, and just pretty much show you how degenerate your Allah and your Prophet is. I mean, for example, since you brought up genitalia, did you know that your Prophet actually got gangbanged in the middle of the desert with a bunch of Pakistani tribesmen? I mean, do you want to go there? We can actually show you the sources. So if you want to go down that route, we can do it as well. I have no issues with doing that.
That needs to be told to Teddy, because Teddy was the one making the homophobic shit earlier. So maybe we should talk to Teddy about that, because he seems like he's an Islam expert.
I can show you a lot of homophilia that Muhammad did. Some of the most really, I'd say, okay, that's some gay stuff there, man. Like, seriously. Like, I can show you that. It's in your hadiths. I can show you that, and I can show you Prophet actually sexually engaging in male-to-male intercourse. So,
Teddy, do you have any rebuttal to that, Teddy? Nothing? You want to stay silent there? You're not going to defend your prophet? No one in here is going to defend their prophet.
no,
Insane. That's crazy. They act all loyal until somebody who knows about the hadiths comes in here, and then they don't say a word.
Actually, to be honest, pedophilia is least of their problem. I can show you the Prophet doing some really weird gay stuff, man.
Oh my God, these Muslims are worse than Jews. I had no fucking idea.
Would you like me to share you one for the whole room so they can
Please do.
themselves?
Please do.
All right, we were.
What's wrong with being gay?
Well, you're definitely not a Muslim if you just said that.
What's wrong with being gay?
But we're gonna move it down unless you don't shut the fuck up. So let's go. You triggered, Prince? What are you triggered about? I don't know. This hadith. Let's listen to it. Let's listen to it. Let's listen to it, Prince. Your great religion.
Can you read my picture profile, please?
Great prophet.
Harry, the guy who comes with you, God ordered them to even kill the animals, not just the dog.
Look how they deflect so hard, bro. So funny. Let's see. Can we read that, or should we have a Muslim read it for us? It would have been better if a Muslim read it for us. But the messenger sent for me on a cold morning, so I came to him, and he was under his quilt with one of his wives. So he let me under the quilt, and we became three.
By the way, do you know who's narrating that? That is Abdullah bin Zubair's father. It's a dude.
Of course it's a dude. Of course.
I told you guys, Muslims are gay, bro. I'm telling you, they're all gay. It's a gay religion. They don't like women. They kill women. They put acid on their faces. And by the way, I just changed my religion and changed my profile picture as well to my religion. If you like my profile picture.
Oh my God. You'll probably get banned for that on here because they're very sensitive. So they'll probably report your picture, and you'll probably get banned.
So here's another idea. When Muhammad got zesty with a companion. Would you like to read it? It's on the side, Jack.
Let's see. All right. Abdul Rahman ibn Abu Layla, quoting Usad ibn Udayar, a man of Ansar, Kitover said that while he was given to jesting and was talking to the people and making them laugh, the prophet poked him under the ribs with a stick. He said, "Let me take retaliation." He said, "Take retaliation." He said, "You are wearing a shirt, but I am not." The prophet then raised the shirt, and the man embraced him and began to kiss his side. Then he said, "This is what I wanted, messenger of Allah."
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, it gets worse. Would you like to? I mean,
Interesting.
you can put a boxing Wawa right at the end, and it would totally work.
Harry says you're so macho. Why are you always afraid of me? Why are you always putting me down? You are.
I didn't even move you down, by the way. I wanted to be out here. I want to see your. I want to see your exhibition of
face right that voice so everybody can see what you actually look like. And then what
Why do you want to see what I look like? Every time you talk to me, see what I look like. You're right. It must be gay.
Hold on.
They must be gay guys. Always, he really wants to see what I look like. He has gay guys.
Now you're muting that. Now it's insecure. You sound insecure.
Shut the fuck up. How about that? My God, you see how triggered they get? They're so triggered.
so fast, bro.
So fast, bro. And it's crazy, man. And he wants to see what I look like. I mean, I
No,
don't see
you're like, I'm gonna jerk off to it.
He's literally vouching for these right now by showing us that they actually are really gay. They want to see what men look like. Crazy.
Bro, the war, let me tell you something, brother. The war you see here is not about flesh and bone. This is a spiritual war. This is a spiritual war, for sure. You know, because when you read Quran, you learn Quran. Phoenix knows this stuff better, you know. And you read Quran, when you actually understand what this religion is about, it's a demonic cult. That's what it is.
Exactly.
It is. I've witnessed it too. I was I even witnessed it while being in a court system of how they actually apply Sharia. And I can tell you there were some really disgusting, absolutely. Put it this way: if the only reason why we're here for God right now, it has to be an equal and opposite reaction to whatever Islam is. Because that's the only reason why I believe it. Because if Allah, your prophet, for example, since you brought up genitalia, did you know there's no other word to say than demonic? I mean, yes, it's the only word that I can.
How long were you following like your faith before you decided to leave?
I was following my faith until I actually I was running a coffee shop and I ran.
No, like 10 years, Phoenix, 20 years, like 5 years, like how long?
I left God 7 years ago, so I was crazy. So
no, that's the mean, like 10 years, 20 years, your whole life, like.
Do you know you
until I was about 33, yeah.
Oh fuck! So like 33 years of your life, you were following your faith.
Yeah, but I studied very extensively about my religion the last 2 years before I left Islam, when I actually went to university, and also because my father was he used to be an Islamic judge, so I kind of had a business, and I didn't do pretty well with it. So the next thing was for me to take on my father's trade. And when I was studying at university, this are the stuff that I actually learned, and that's when I realized I need to get the hell out of here. So I didn't continue my studies. I only went there for 1 year, and then I left Islam when I came back to the United States. So yeah, it was some of the most heinous things that you could possibly imagine.
Wow. And when it freaked you out, like, what was it that pushed you to the edge of like saying no?
It wasn't the fact that whatever I read, of course, some of the stuff that I read was absolutely just pure evil, like seriously. But I could block that out of my brain because I'll be very honest with you, I was the type of guy who I cared more about my family's honor than I cared about my religion. So I thought I'd just I just conform. But then you're put in a position where you're actually sitting behind a judge,
and you're in a courtroom, and then you get these cases, especially in case.
Do you know I don't give a fuck how it's survived? It's all private hate and it's political. It won't work on me, Buma. Hypnosis mind virus is fucking stupid. It doesn't work anymore. Your politics have been defeated. Donald Trump is the president. And Biden, who knows what the fuck she's doing? And fucking Dan Bongino's stepping down. The whole thing is everybody got away with everything.
Because he had like eight other daughters. So for him, it was just making money. So he kind of course, the child died on their wedding night.
Get Marcus Aurelius
this
report.
This is called
I was absolutely shocked. I thought this man was going to go to jail for, flattening a child. No, apparently they were there not because they were actually, this man killed a child. It's because the farmer didn't have the money to give back the daughter because he already spent it. So he was there to get his money back. And I went to the judge and I said, Judge, I'm not going to put this guy on trial for killing a child. That's right. They go through the divorce court. They already signed the marriage contract, so there is no blood money required. It's called blood money. So I went into my room for 3 days.
Hold on. I hate to interrupt you there. You're telling the truth. This actually fucking happened.
Having sex with a bunch of women.
So you're trying to tell me that they tried to consummate the marriage and he killed that little precious life at 3 years old?
Yeah. So there's a hadith that actually says that when Aisha was basically taken to Muhammad, that he was also worried that she couldn't take the brunt of his divorce. So the parents actually said that her facts were up so she could take the brunt from you. And so that's exactly what they did. They chubbied her up, thinking that was a way to actually get well. By the way, that's scientifically false. Like if you chubby a kid up and then press more force, the bones will break. Even further, the bones are far more fragile if they're more fatter.
You were listening to the Tao Te Ching, right?
And that's what happened.
Welcome to Lao Tzu's Tao Te Ching.
Because they put her on the contract because the guy who married her said, I'm not sure your daughter can take it on my wedding night because I like to have sex with my wife on my wedding night. And the man, the farmer said, don't worry about it. My daughter, I'll fatten her up. And I'll put on the contract. If she dies on the wedding on your wedding night, then we'll give you your money back.
So this was the king of England.
People that are talking shit because something wrong to be said if you're lying, you're making stuff up. Listen, I understand. I've been in many rooms with you before. You're very knowledgeable guy. How do we have where we can submit some type of
I can show you as long as you're here right now. There is a book in the courtroom that actually shows on what happens. Not if you can have sex with a child that has had sex with a child. Would you like to go through that right now with me?
Yeah, what do you guys think in the room? If you can put one in the chat if you want to go through that. It's pretty. I know, but the only reason why is because people think that you're lying right now, but I have a big feeling that you're not.
I can show it to you right now, in front of everybody.
Everybody in the chat, put one in the chat if you want to hear this, or two, like if you believe him, or three if you don't want to hear this, please. So they want to hear it.
All right, I'll show you this. So this is actually a book called Kitover. So just medical terms that we need to actually establish first. Do you know what a fistula is? Do you know what a fistula is?
No. Something else step away, but I'm listening.
So a fistula is basically when the vagina and the anus turns into one because you've torn the that what separates between the two.
Oh, it's like a fissure, right? Is that what also?
It's a fish. It's called fistula.
It's a tear, basically, right?
Yeah, it's a massive tear that can cause bleeding. A person can die and can get infected really badly, especially in medieval times. And the worst part is that you can't hold your bowels together. Okay, so now that we understand that, let's read what the actual source says about how to engage in a sexual intercourse with a child. All right. Let me go here. All right. Let's do this. All right. So this is a book called Behir Kitover by Maulana Ashraf Ali Tahanawi. This book, by the way, today is being used even to this very day for marriage and divorce. And there's a chapter in there that we'll read. Okay.
Fucking car. If the other person thinks that that's triggering, you're around.
The circle
But
part.
you started talking
Let's put it on the side check.
the top as well, saying, oh, it's ready for space determination.
Can somebody else do this? I'm not by my phone. Somebody else that's on the panel right now? Anybody come up and read this, please? I don't know if anybody wants to come up.
There are 7 keys to the Great Gate, which be 1 and 1 and 8. First, let the body of the eagle settle, followed by the sentiments of love.
Out your fucking.
He's basically now referring to
We all know.
my
Yeah,
question.
right. I don't know if you noticed that.
Equality and honesty is defined.
Do you know I don't give a fuck how it's defined? Because all violence hate and it's political. It won't work on me, Bima. Your hypnosis mind virus is fucking stupid. It doesn't work anymore. Your politics have been defeated.
Let's say they come to
Equality. Why does it matter? Why does it matter?
Because you cannot keep your hands These are personally myself. I used to be a Muslim before. I'm not anymore. I don't have any religion. I don't give a damn about any Muslim religion. These Muslims always say that I'm not Muslim and they defend in their face. I'm sorry? Please. You Muslims, when you are here in the clubhouse with other non-Muslim people, you say that I'm not a Muslim, and then you start defending Islam. You are doing shit. And I am leading you on. Listen to me. I am in Iran, and right now, I'm not in Iran. I can say
I'm gonna stop all this. So he's trying to derail what Phoenix was trying to do. All Phoenix was trying to do is present evidence, and you interrupted him. You didn't even allow the evidence to be presented. And then you screamed, he's lying. How? You didn't hear him present the evidence. Allow him to present the evidence. So shut the fuck up. Please let him present the evidence, and then we can critique him. You lied. You are brainwashing young people.
Drop him to the audience. This is ridiculous.
You guys are trying to create hate between the people. Why the fuck are you guys doing that? What's wrong?
Let's hear it. Come on.
Okay. Can you read it? Yaakov, he put a link in the chat. He's going to tell you which one.
The Reddit thread?
Yeah, Yeah, so if you go to page 2 of that Reddit thread, and then you see a circle part. Do you see that circle part over there?
One, the second cause?
Yes. So if you go to second cause, and it starts with if a woman is underage. Go ahead.
Hold on 1 second. Sorry, I got out of it. Pushed the wrong button and read it. If a woman is underage, but not so small that one has intercourse with her, there is a fear of the vaginal tissues tearing to such an extent that the vagina and anus will virtually come together. Then by the insertion of the glands of the penis into her vagina, gushal, G-H-U-S-L, never heard of that word, will become fard, F-A-R-D, on the man.
That means compulsory.
If he has reached age of puberty. Parenthesis, however, if there is the aforementioned fear in a very minor girl, then mere insertion of the penis does not render gushal obligatory.
Did you get that? Did you catch that? So there is, in case you tear her vagina apart and made her anus and one into a hole, you don't have to wash yourself afterwards. But if she's a non-minor girl, then you have to go wash yourself. As if that makes any difference. But regardless, it's showing you over here, right here, that you can tear the vagina of a little girl apart, and that's okay. That's disgusting. And there's a mechanism on how to have sex with a little girl. I mean, the next one tells you about if a eunuch has sex with any kind of girl. You can go ahead and read that if you want. It's pretty funny. It's that they even have eunuchs mentioned here in the first place. But regardless, that part over there shows you that you can tear her apart. Like that's physically messed up. Physically messed up.
Do they have anything on Linux? I know that you said they have Unix.
Yeah, it's the next set paragraph. Go ahead.
Linux?
Yeah, it says if a person whose testicles have been cut off inserts his penis into the back of anyone or the vagina of a woman, anyone, meaning that even, by the way, over here, anyone, if you actually, there's another page that actually says the anyone part could also mean an animal too, not just a little girl. And also means washing will be fucked, means compulsory on both of them. If both are mature, alternatively, it will be fard on the one who is mature. So there you go. So if you're a eunuch, it even tells you how to have sex with other with animals and non-animals at the same time. You just have to wash yourself afterwards. Pretty disgusting stuff.
Gnarly.
And by the way, they use this book today, even today, in Islamic courtrooms. So just letting you know. Well, if you want to go to the Islamic source, we can go to right now in 65 verse 4 that says you can marry, divorce, and have sex with boys and girls. We can go there right now if you want.
Could you talk more about the source of this? Like, you said it's in jurisprudence, excuse me, I didn't pronounce it.
Yeah. So this is a book that is pretty much, when it comes to marriage and divorce, and Islamic Sharia universities, they teach this. So this is one of the most famous books by Maulana Ash'ari Tahami, and he's a Hanafi school. And by the way, the vast majority of Muslims today are Hanafis. So letting you know that this is what the vast majority of Muslims believe in. So, and he's giving you details on procedures, because, everything in Islam is do's and don'ts. Like, they even tell you how to even go to the bathroom. You have to put your right foot first before you put your left foot, all that sort of crazy stuff. So this is a very meticulous, 1-inch, 2-inch step that gives you on how to have sex with a little child, and what are the mechanisms if something goes wrong or not, and what you need to do in order to, rectify it in some cases, I guess. That's the best word to use, even though it never rectified it to begin with. I mean, it doesn't matter if you wash yourself, you just tore her vagina apart.
Wait, are you saying a rectified or a rectified?
Rectified.
It was a joke.
Oh. Dark humor. Okay, I get it.
Hey, BB, how'd you take over Amir's house? Just briefly. Or is this just like a fake one?
No, you got
Okay, that's
a
fine.
little bit of money. Yeah, we're good.
Okay, I was amused. Sorry. Congratulations.
I just realized it. This is Amir's house. What the hell? How did you do that?
I don't think he wants to say but kudos or whatever. It's fantastic.
By the way, Amir is one of the dumbest people I've ever met. Like, seriously. Like, full on dumb.
Doesn't surprise me.
But can we at least admit that all religions have some dark things when it comes to children?
I'd like you to find it in Jainism if you can tell me.
I'm just saying, like, do we know of that?
Do we know of that?
Yeah, if you cherry pick the Talmud, you would come up with the same thing. But the problem is that I put a comment in the chat. The comment is you can't have sex with a 3-year-old. You can't marry a 3-year-old because there's another overriding statement in the Talmud, which I'll boil it down, which essentially says that a woman who is to be married has to understand completely the physical and emotional requirements of marriage. And clearly, a 3-year-old does not meet that test. And that one page that everyone sort of says, oh, Jews are having sex with 3-year-olds is a philosophical discussion of marriage contracts and stuff related to it. It means nothing. There's a lot of those kinds of back and forths on things that mean nothing to do, and they don't come to a decision because it's just this hypothetical situation. So they're like, but the problem is people cherry pick, and I think we have to be very careful when doing that in any religion. Is to ask the question: is there something that overrides that statement? And I would say the same thing to where did he go? He left. The thing that he presented: is there something in Islamic jurisprudence that overrides that? Because it sounds kind of damning. Is there something that says no, that's not the case? I don't know the answer to that. I just raised the question.
The difference between Islam and other religions in other countries is that the Sharia law is practicing right now in Islamic countries. It is practicing. I am living in an Islamic country right now. In this country, we don't have the luxury of human rights. So they are doing it on a daily basis. You cannot compare Islam with Christianity, which is in Europe. There is Christianity, there is Judaism, but they don't practice this. Maybe the evil things that the religion is stating. So the problem is Muslims, wherever they go, they want to practice the commands of Allah. So this makes the real problem. I don't care what there is in the other religious books. Until they are not practiced, none of my business, like fairy tales. But the problem with Islam is that they are actively pursuing to practice their religion in their countries, also in other countries which they migrated in. So this is the most important problem with the Muslim people. And as an advice, I should urge you to be very careful about the policies that makes these Muslims migrate to your countries. You should not allow that. Our country is falling apart. Our lives is falling apart. And I don't, as a human being, I don't want to happen to any other country than any other
situations. Right.
Hello everybody, I hope everyone is doing well. I just want to clarify that the Islamic rules are not practiced in Islamic countries, but it's not true in my idea. According to my opinion, the complete and the whole law of Islam is not practicing in all countries, in all Islamic countries. I mean, see, if you look at the early age of the emergence of Islam, you will notice something amazing that at that time Islam was completely applied and practiced through in all over the Arabistan and the Middle East countries. So right now, in this 21st century, Islam is not completely practiced in any country, I think, and that's my point. I'm living currently in a very, very famous country, which is Afghanistan. I think about it as a
Afghanistan,
dangerous country.
which is my neighbor, it's our country.
Yeah.
So they are literally selling their children for, let's say, I remember that. I had a conversation with a Afghan person. He told me that he bought a girl for 120 million tomatoes. It literally in this right now with the in dollar it makes, let's say, $1,200. $1,200.
See, Kaya.
They are selling.
First,
don't tell me lies, please.
Sorry.
They are selling their children. Okay.
See, first of all, tell me which country are you living currently. Are you from Iran or some other country?
I am from Iran, and I'm living in this shithole of country because of Muslims.
In Afghanistan, the fathers, they give their daughters to older men. They give the daughters to older men. I even saw this documentary, which was fully documented there by someone who had the guts to go in there. And this man gave his daughter to this older man, which the daughter ended up killing herself. They didn't want to go to that older man. Eventually, the father gave the body of the daughter to that older man, and they put makeup on her and they married her. This was I couldn't believe it if I heard it, but there was a documentary for it. And here's the reality of Islam. Let me finish. The reality of Islam that's happening in Afghanistan, Pakistan, and all those Islamic countries. These things are real because in Islam, women are not valued. The testimony of two women equals the testimony of one man. Women are not really considered much. There is no respect, there is no value, there is nothing for women in Islam. It's a religion of hate. It's a religion that doesn't honor women, and it's just insane. So don't tell me this stuff are not happening in Islamic countries. Islam is not being fully practiced. If it was fully practiced, it's a religion. No, it's not. Any religion that promotes and practice marrying 3-year-olds, marrying 6-year-olds, anything related to pedophilia, right? These are not religion. These are satanic cults. They bring nothing but destruction. Besides all of this, if you really want to see the result of something, if you want to see if something is good, look at its pattern, look at its history. Islam has been around for 1400 years. For 1400 years, anywhere Islam has entered into, it has brought nothing but destruction, but chaos, and murder. It brings nothing. They want to take over the world. Okay, you took over the world. What now? Everything is burning in ashes now. What else do you want? So don't tell me Islam is not being fully practiced or whatnot. So
See, just listen to me. I'm gonna tell you some things. First of all, you can't judge a religion or an ideology by some specific events that happened in current years or maybe the past several.
So we're talking about right now, Islam is an invasive political mind virus infecting the West, and it must be resisted and fought by all means possible. It is an infectious, parasitic political mind virus. It is a satanic cult taking over minds of innocent people who fall prey to their lies, an infectious, hypnotic, terroristic death cult.
Do not defend yourself.
Arabi, please do not insult anyone. See,
Very well.
yeah, music, yeah.
Islam is a disease, bro. Listen, Islam is a mental illness.
That's why Hitler say I kill him and I leave the other half, let the whole world why I kill them.
And do I hit this? Islam is chaotic.
If you wanna have a good discussion to understand everything, then you have to be.
We understand everything, man. There's nothing more to understand. Islam needs to be banned everywhere. Islam needs to be gone. Islam needs to be gone. That's the conclusion. We don't need to think or discuss anything further. The conclusion is Islam is a religion of the satanic cult. It's not even a religion. It's a satanic cult. Everywhere Islam has entered, it has caused chaos and murder and just putting people down to the ground. That's what it is, right? So now the conclusion is what I just said, and the solution is to completely wipe it out of the face of the earth. Islam needs to be gone. Bottom line, a religion that marries 3 years old, 6 years old, the prophet of that religion married a 6 years old. The prophet of the religion killed so many men, raped a woman just for the sake of Islam. That's not a religion. It comes from Satan. It needs to be defeated. I'm Christian. In the Bible it says, don't make peace with evil. Destroy it. Destroy evil. Don't make peace with it. We're not here to make peace. Trump is there. America's there. We're not here to make...
Sean, that's Islamophobic and bigoted and racist.
I don't give a fuck what you want to call it. Fuck Islam, okay?
I am proudly an Islamophobe. Let me say this. Let me say something.
There is no such thing as Islamophobia, okay? There is no such thing as Islamophobia.
People like this guy, Islamophobia is not a right.
You guys check. Let me
word. It is not a right word.
You guys have
It is not a right phrase. Let me explain. Islamophobia is not the right and correct phrase because phobia is considered unreasonable fear of something. Unreasonable fear of something because of that brain. Yeah. Reasonable fear of something is called phobia. Okay. Islam kills, rapes, murders, colonizes people, take away their rights, human rights, and these are actually horrible.
These are reasonable.
We're not afraid of horrible things.
Exactly. These are reasons to be afraid of something. On the other hand, Kia, that's a great comment. Thanks for mentioning that. Yes, phobia means having unreasonable fear of something. Not wanting Islam because Islam destroys and kills everything. It's all the reason you need to not want it, first of all. Second of all, I want you, Islamists, Muslims, open your ears really well. We are not afraid of you. I'm telling you, go read the history. The first crusade happened. Just listen, the first crusade happened because of you guys. And I'm telling you, get ready because another crusade is coming. We are not afraid of you. We are armed. We are ready. We have the most powerful military in the world to wipe Islam out forever. Okay? We are coming. You can get hurt. You can try to lie. You can say whatever.
See, man.
Other take your shitty religion. Other take your shitty religion to your country. No, listen, I'm talking.
Guys, let's try to listen.
Take your shitty religion to Islamic countries. If you want Islam, stay in Islamic countries. If you want peace, freedom, justice, the Western world is offering that. If you don't like it, just stay in your Islamic countries. I'm sure very soon you'll wipe each other out anyways.
But don't come in my country. I don't want you. If you want my guys to leave your country, you should leave my country ASAP.
I'm not in your fucking country. I'm not in your fucking country. I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what you're saying.
Don't be What the fuck is
Guys, don't believe the news. Believe me. I am the news.
Okay. Anyway, so we come there because innocent people are dying. So, like I said, you guys don't like America. You don't like the Western world. You can't get the fuck out and go somewhere that they accept Islam. Here, we don't want it. We don't accept it. And we're gonna destroy it. Sharia law is banned in the States.
Point of order, moderator, point of order, moderator, point of order, moderator, point of order.
Listen, stop shouting. Israel, America have been fighting Islam for a long time. They have been fighting demons for a long time, okay? And they are powerful, and they have been fighting Islam. They will continue fighting it, and at the end you'll be defeated. Because you, let me tell you something. You might think the thing is, there are Muslims, who actually they're trying to follow the good things, but they don't know. They don't have the education to understand Islam is a demonic cult, okay? So America, Israel, they fight for those good people. But the
basic question you have to ask is, what should the world government be? The founders
taking over it for making it political. Those guys, they need to go.
person
And the rest,
at the wrong time who decides,
Hit them with a nuclear missile
Look
now!
at all your countries.
the guy
The
that pushes
Muslim countries are bad.
now.
Is bad.
Did I hear you correctly, man? You want me to hit them with a nuclear weapon?
How come they are
Yes,
so
do
simple?
it! Fast! This is a direct order, soldier! Do it now!
I just need to confirm one more time. Are you telling me to strike Moscow with a nuclear missile? And she responds, the president responds,
I gave you a direct order, soldier! If you refuse my command, I will remove you on duty! And appoint a new senior officer! Launch the attack now!
I know really well.
Don't be ignorant like that. Don't be like that.
Or you go by our calendar,
Don't
not
be
Islamic calendar.
ignorant like that. Just be like
I'm
smart
not
guy.
ignorant. I'm smart. I'm really smart.
You're not smart, man. You talk like that, you never be smart.
Afwan Habibi, point of order, gentlemen. We are not going anywhere with this conversation. We are circular. This is a waste of our time. Nothing new is being spoken. Arabi, please mute yourself for 10 minutes and be quiet. Be peace. Be still. No one wants to hear your bullshit anymore, Arabi. Be quiet and let Sean speak. He is speaking the truth. Be quiet. No one cares about your opinion, Arabi. Be quiet and let the Sean speak.
Thank you. So, yeah. Anyways, we don't need any more conclusion. We don't need any of this bullshit. We We already know enough.
Leave our country, that's it.
We already know enough, okay? We already know. Leave your country. No, you guys need, you know what you guys need to do? You know what you guys need to do? You guys need to leave the earth. Because your religion is a disease for this planet.
Listen, okay, something. All humanity knows this war in Gaza, Israeli caused some diseases in the world. All countries except America. You guys got
Habibi, you are making all or nothing statements. You are making all or nothing statements, Arabi. That is called cognitive distortion disorder, and you are wasting our time with your bullshit. You are citing all kinds of waste of time bullshit. I am sick of it. I am going to go to the gym, and I am going to read a book, and I am going to go make my life better instead of listening to you say your bullshit. Have a good day, sir. I am complete. This is a music AI.
Go do yourself a favor. Go actually read about Islam, what Islam teaches, what Islam practices. It doesn't matter if you're born into it. You haven't learned it. You haven't learned it. Okay, so you're born and hold on. You're born and raised Muslim, right? Answer one question. If you have a 3-year-old daughter, is it okay for me to marry your daughter?
No.
Okay, so in Islam, like you say, you're born Muslim. In your religion, it teaches how to marry a Muslim, how to marry a little 3-year-old girl, and how to sleep with her, and how to have sex with her.
Habibi, this is such a waste of time. It's like talking to a bag of rocks, a pile of bricks. Like talking to a brain-dead, autistic, Down syndrome person who can't actually speak English. This is not an ESL training room. This is such a waste of time. Why are we all listening to Arabic waste our time? I am complete.
Arabic, listen, it's okay music. Yeah, it's okay. So Arabic, listen, Arabic, same thing for me, man. So you say who is doing that? And there are people who are doing that. There are a lot of Muslim men, older Muslim men, in Afghanistan, in Pakistan, all those Islamic countries. They're marrying little girls, 9-year-old, 10-year-old, 11-year-old. I didn't say it's your fault, brother. I'm saying.
Don't waste your time anymore, Sean. I can't take listening to this bullshit. He's like a bag of rocks, a pile of bricks. He's got no intelligence, no information, no wisdom. He is here trying to figure out how to speak English, and he's wasting my time. I am going to the gym. I am going to read a book. I am going to live my best life now instead of listening to Arabic. He is a low IQ Muslim. He believes in terrorism. He believes in non-stop racial and political division and conflict. He is a bullshit artist and wasting my time. I'm going to the gym and I'm going to work out and then go use the sauna and sit in the hot tub. And then I will maybe come back to speak with you after you have read a book and then you have done something with your life. This is a waste of my time. It is like talking to a bag of rocks. I am complete.
Okay, so anyways, you say that's not your problem that they do that or whatnot, right?
It's not a problem.
Okay, so let me finish. So the fact that Islam teaches these things, Islam in your book, bro, it's written. I'm not lying.
You are projecting Arabic, your lies into the room. Stop with your bullshit and be at peace and be still. You are wasting our time with your bullshit. Sean, you keep talking to him. Do not talk to him or Harry and Jay will kick you from the room just for talking to him. Do not talk to him anymore. You keep the circle of bullshit going. Stop what you're doing, Arabic and Sean. This is bullshit. Point of order to the moderators. Point of order to the moderators.
Listen. It's written. Everything I'm telling you, I'm not making out of my ass. It's written in Islamic documents that this is the way that it needs to be practiced.
Prove it for me.
Okay, so another question for you. Did you know? Okay. Proof. It's not proof, it's proof, first of all. But did you know your prophet Muhammad married a 6 years old Aisha and fucked her when she was 9?
Habibi, this is a waste of my time. I am going to the gym to go work out, and then I'm going to use the hot tub. Habibi, Arabi, and Sean, be at peace, and be still. You are wasting my fucking time with your bullshit. This is not an argument. This is not a debate. This is a waste of my fucking time. Why don't you both go on mute and read a book for 10 minutes instead of wasting my fucking time?
Anyways, if you believe in a religion, the prophet of that religion. That's not the only thing. How can you believe and follow a religion? Let me finish. We are still talking about the first one. If you're a decent person, why would you follow a religion that the prophet of that religion married at 6 years old? That's pedophilia. And if you follow that religion, well, guess what? It's not that we want you. We don't want you in our countries. We don't want you on the earth. Listen. It's not that. Listen, man. It's not only that we don't want you in our countries. We don't want you on the earth. Because your religion, your belief, your ideology is a disease. What are you saying?
You're going a far away, brother. You're going a really deep ass way. Focus what you say.
I already said what I said. Your religion is a demonic cult. Allah is Satan. The God of Islam is Satan. Okay. Of course you're gonna die for it. All of you die for your religion. How would you die for your religion? By suicide bombing? You don't blow yourself?
Habibi, I'm going to go to the gym. I can't listen to this bullshit anymore. I'm going to take the deepest breath of the day, hit my bands, and I'm going to forget that I ever heard this bullshit come out of your mouth. What a waste of my fucking time. I can't continue to listen to this bullshit uninterrupted without calling you stupid and low IQ and a waste of my fucking time. You suffer from brain rot. You came here with a brain rot, and you will leave here with a brain rot. No debate can fix your fucked up, stupid, low IQ brain. I am sick of listening to this bullshit. Moderator's point of order. Moderators, point of order. You know why I am here. You know why I am speaking, moderators. And you know why you keep letting these dumb low IQ assholes speak this bullshit on your stage? Because I have called the FBI. Amir's house is a room full of terrorists like Arabi. And this is some bullshit. Everyone in the audience needs to report Arabi for the shit he just said. He is a terrorist supporter, a terrorist promoter, and he is a dangerous human being. I have called the FBI and I have reported him to the authorities, and soon they will find out where he lives, and the police will kick in his door and drag him out by his ears. You should be ashamed of yourself, Arabi. You should be silenced, and you should be censored, and you should not speak anymore. I have called the legal authorities, and the FBI are coming to your house to arrest you now.
Please don't shout and talk very quietly so we can understand. You are just shouting for ears.
Yeah, like you're just shouting at me. There's no point to shout.
Sean had some logic and some reason.
Shout, let it all out. The Muslims are terrorists about. Come on now. Let it all out. Shout, let it all out. But don't blow up a bus and pout. Come on now.
Please be quiet. You are
I think music AI is Muslim because you know what? Yes.
Daniel, are you here?
Yes.
Yeah. Interrupting the
Just answer the question.
so
He asked you why.
so you don't have
He
the time
asked
to
you
start your
why the messenger of God married
Right, Daniel?
a 9-year-old girl.
Listen.
Wait, one second. Just give me 1 second. Daniel?
Yes.
Hi, Daniel. Just want to make sure it's you.
Hi.
How are you?
Yes.
Okay.
Daniel, can we confirm that you are still gay?
Just stop talking nonsense and stop yelling. There's no need to be yelling.
Okay, carry on, crazies. Go ahead.
Easy for you to say do not yell, but I can't continue listening to your bullshit, Sean, because you keep speaking to Arabi and you complete the circuit and the circle of bullshit. And the more you speak, the more you think, the further from the truth that we are gonna get. So tell Arabi to mute up and put him in the goo where he belongs.
Big boss go fight against them. I don't think so. You have pussy, probably. You don't have no dick.
That is a projection. You are a pussy and you have no dick. You should go to Gaza and eat your own words, you bullshit artist.
My God.
That's why.
What I like is, listen,
I can't
Bottom line is- bottom line is that
where are you?
your prophet married a 6 years old. You are a demonic cult, and that's it. We're gonna get rid of you. Bottom line. And the last thing, fuck Islam, okay?
Son, they got fuck your religion, you motherfucker.
Fuck Islam.
Fuck your religion, I'll fuck you believe in peace. I knew I'm gonna fuck you,
Moderators, point of order. Point of order. Moderators, Afwan Habibi. Afwan Habibi. Point of order to the moderators.
Muslim said that I die for my religion. The problem is you don't die for your religion. You kill for your religion. And you kill innocent people. That is the problem. You have no problem with it if you die for your religion. Don't die for your religion. Don't kill for Islam.
Yeah, you guys kill, man. You guys murder, you know?
Stop fucking lying.
You are the angels of the demons. You're angels of the devil, you know? You worship Satan. Allah is Satan.
Cancer disease, man.
See how Islam started in Saudi Arabia. Your messenger of God, Muhammad, who did robbery, kill people, get money, get people as a slave. Then you got the money, you came and attacked Iran more than 1,400 years ago. And you brought down such a beautiful civilization. And you took lots of slaves from Iran. You killed so many people. And you are still continuing that. You know, you don't stop killing. If somebody insults your religion, you kill him. If somebody criticizes your religion, that is the only people that kill. Yes.
He never kept a slave.
Yes. You sold them. You took it.
Habibi, do not waste our time with this bullshit. I cannot take listening to this bullshit anymore. This is a debate never going to end. We have to have a point of moderation. Please, moderators, guide us. Let us stick to the topic of the title, because Arabi has a motor mouth and he will never stop talking his bullshit.
Bahram, you can speak and you can just stop and let people answer for you. You just speak and nobody answers, it's not going to anywhere.
Listen, we don't need Islamists to teach us about Islam. We know
Nobody's teaching you, brother. Nobody's teaching you anything. Nobody's teaching you anything.
The only thing we want is
You are a fucking
we have seen enough of Islam.
Moving out of the land.
You will be constant.
Another crusade is coming. What do you want us?
Another crusade is coming.
Answer you. Ask the question, I'll answer.
All you terrorists will be gone.
I'll answer you. You ask the question, I'll answer you, man. I'll answer you. You have the guts, ask the
Because I have guts. You're funny. If I have the guts. Do you have kids? Do you have kids? Do you have a 6-year-old daughter? Can I marry your daughter who's 6 years old?
No. This is not respect. No.
Can I? Do you have a cousin that's 6 years old? Can I marry them? Well, you don't like it. But you better with them. You like dicks? What? I know you like dicks.
Because your wife, she can't find Israeli real man. Fuck her. That's why she go in Palestine.
I'm not Israeli, you fucking retard.
To let Palestinian guy to fuck
I support Israel though.
because she find small dick, you motherfucker.
I support Israel.
This is getting a bit boring, all this like dick measuring. So maybe we can move on.
It's boring for you, Daniel? Really?
He wants to cut the dicks. He likes the dicks. He collects the dicks.
I beat your ass with this.
But he's right, it is boring. You guys suck at insulting each other.
I don't know, man.
Not like you.
I was thinking
Arabi, how are you, Arabi? Listen, guys. Listen here. Arabi is not a smart guy. We're talking to somebody who's actually 6 years old brain. Yeah.
Not even 6 years old.
The end of the day, like you.
We're talking to somebody who has the mind of a 6-year-old. Okay?
If you have the courage, go fight.
So speak very slow to Arabi.
Eliminate you.
He doesn't get it, I know.
You have to speak very slow. Arabi, how are you doing today?
Arabic, read Quran. Quran will tell you that you must kill other people. Therefore, you realize that
Listen, instead of all this Muslim talk, I want to know about his profile picture. I want to understand where's the flag with Hamas shooting at children? Where's this one at? Where's the Palestinian flag shooting at their own children? Where's this?
yeah, they literally do that, man.
Why are you not making sure of this? I don't understand.
Keep it skip, man. Keep it skip. You go all the way far.
What do you mean?
I have something serious to talk about.
You guys have gone far, man. You Muslims
I think this is the truth, Arabi. You just don't want to know the
Let's skip the
truth.
road for. Just continue to say it. We want to talk about it straight, motherfucker. Just don't be lying.
Hamas killing their own children, blaming
He was talking about our prophets. And then he was good.
Where the fuck you guys come from? From the prophet?
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Sean, you gotta take a life, man. You gotta get a life.
No point. If let's say
Go outside your home, find some man.
I have a life. I go to war and I kill terrorists for living. I'm a soldier. I kill terrorists. You hear me? You fucking Muslim tarts. Okay? That's my life. I have a life. I do already. I don't need you to tell me, you fucker.
Yeah, Arabi, why don't you fight in there?
What's happened to you?
Arabi, where are you from that you're so brave? Hold on, where are you from, Arabi?
I'm not gonna give you my guys. You fight like let's go. What the fuck are you here for?
You wanna fight the IDF? Come and fight the IDF.
I'm
You guys are not fighting the IDF. You guys are not fighting the IDF.
You can't even talk, motherfucker, right now. No. You can't even talk.
You put
You
the
guys
AK-47
against the IDF. You guys are cowards.
I put you in the corner, that's why.
This is
my
my
corner in your own fucking little 6-year-old mind.
That's why you can't even talk, because I want
and
you
the
to
rest
talk.
are being arrested.
See? Yeah, I fucked them up.
We approve the trials. They will be fucked, all of them.
Well, gentlemen, point of order. This is music. I want to know whether or not we will have coexistence in our lifetimes, or is the brain rot so bad that nothing can stop the brain rotted out people from ever becoming peaceful? Because if you're a very bad brain rot and you came to Clubhouse, you brought the brain rot. Do not expect anyone to leave a clown house without the brain rot because they came here with the brain rot. I am complete.
I'm not fucking Indian, motherfucker. I'm fucking Palestinian. I'm not fucking Indian.
He's not Indian, he's Arab.
I'm fucking Palestinian. And the whorehouse lady, she's next to you.
You don't even know where you're from. You're
The whorehouse lady, she was next to you.
Where are you from? Where are you from, Arabic?
I'm from your mom ass.
He's from
I know. He's from Ramallah. I give you my
Ramallah. You come from Muhammad's
I was talking with Cowan. That's why I'm not going to give you my details.
Ramallah.
Did you say you're fucking who? What?
If I talk with Cowan, real guy, I give him my address. But because I talk with
Go ahead,
I'm
put
not
your address right now. Go
I
ahead.
know you are a
What's
pussy.
your
What's your address? Some people.
Come on, say it.
What's
Because
your
I
address?
know you. I talk with Cowan.
Yes, that's why you can't say your
Because if
address.
I know, I was talking
No,
with
you need your address. ID
I give
for
him my
people
full
to put their
address.
fucking guns up your ass.
Everything about me, but I know I'm talking with some Cowan piece of shit.
Yes.
You were a coward piece of shit, you retard.
Robbie lives in Texas, so you told me. I remember.
Well, George is called.
Oh, Texas.
He's originally from Ramallah.
Ramallah, you live in Texas.
I'm
Okay.
in the beginning. If I was not to read,
Don't worry, ICE is coming. If you're in the US, ICE is coming for you. Don't worry.
He's telling the terrorists to watch that. I said, if you have big balls, listen, I'm gonna give you someone address. If you have big balls right now. Oh, my balls are big, bro.
Too big for your
My
mouth.
name is Harry Ballsack, bro. If you can, if big balls, I'm gonna give you someone address. Just go meet them.
Someone's address?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you to go see him.
I'll send my friends ICE. They will meet them.
Well, and listen, see how he's getting. Yeah, motherfuckers.
We bought new plates for you guys. We just bought 3 new plates for you guys. Listen, just about this shit, okay?
You already know, you piece of shit.
We bought 3 new plates for you guys.